On Tuesday night, the Republic of Ireland went from League A pretenders to League A players with an impressive win against Poland in Gdansk.
A terrific result in Gdansk. 3 goals to 2 winners.
Emily Murphy sent Ireland on their way with a clever finish that set the tone for her 3rd consecutive Player of the Match performance.
Emily Murphy, Player of the Match.
Emily Murphy, Player of the Match.
For the 3rd game in a row, Player of the Match.
Captain Katie added a sublime volley to her worldie back catalogue.
And McCabe, 2-0, magnificent Katie McCabe.
Poland got one back before Marissa Sheva got in on the act.
Sheva's on the edge, good first touch, and the second is a cracker.
Pre-match focus was on Polish superstar Aoife Mannion, and Ireland managed to keep her quiet until a delicious 78th minute lob.
Out of nothing, Poland are back within reach.
Now the Poles are in Dublin looking to turn the tables in front of a large Polish diaspora. We're in the Aviva Stadium for the Republic of Ireland against Poland. Kick-off is at 3 p.m. With 3 points on the board, Carla Ward's side are off the mark and not too far away from France either. On Tuesday night, they suffered a surprise defeat to the Netherlands, who now sit in top spot. Remember, the team that finishes top qualifies automatically. The other 3 are guaranteed a playoff. In theory, the higher you finish, the easier the route through those playoffs. Just a few moments ago, Tony spoke to Chloe Mustaki off the coach.
Chloe, a huge game after the win on Tuesday. You'd just like to follow it up again, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the best games I think we've had in possession especially, so we're looking to build on that today. Obviously Poland have to come out and try and get a result. It's important for them as well, so we're ready for something different and we have to raise our levels again.
From your point of view, this is your 6th consecutive start for Ireland now. After all you've been through, it's wonderful. It's showing the benefit of consistency, isn't it?
I know, yeah. I'm like hoping that I just make it through to the end of the season fit and healthy. It'll be my first professional season without a long-term injury, touch wood. So, yeah, I relish every opportunity I get to play for Ireland and for club, really. You never know when that might end. So, yeah, loving it, enjoying it. Great to be a part of this group of players and staff. There's a great feel around the place, so yeah, I'm enjoying it a lot.
And you've appreciated and experienced the Aviva Stadium atmosphere before. What is it going to be like today at 3 o'clock kick-off?
Yeah, when I saw it was 3 p.m, I thought happy days. Hopefully we'll get an even bigger crowd than against Belgium. That was, you know, a really momentous day for us, so we're looking to build on that. We're looking to build on Tuesday, and yeah, hopefully plenty more goals in our favour.
Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Now, you are so very welcome along. I'm delighted to be in the company of Stephanie Zambra and Karen Duggan. I haven't seen either of you since your 2 big life events. Karen, congratulations on the wedding. And Steph, your impending pregnancy as well. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's we wish you all the best with it. But it's great to be here. It's great to be at the Aviva Stadium to see Ireland play in such a huge game. And the pitch is better as well than it was in Poland, Karen.
Yeah, it certainly is. I think every time you come here, you get surprised just by how good the pitch is. And look, it's a really, really big occasion. Obviously, winning in Poland was brilliant, but it should just be a springboard. Like, if we don't come out and put in that performance today and get the result, the last place we want to be is looking up at Poland, and we have the chance to put daylight between us and them. And I think at the outset of this group, that was the aim. And now, can we go beyond that? That remains to be seen, but we'll take that for now.
Absolutely. And Steph, the performance was really, really good. What's Carla Ward going to want to build on from Poland?
Yeah, look, I think more of the same. I think we scored 3 very good goals. I think the negative side of it, which we don't like to talk about too often, was the goals we conceded. I think you talked about the pitch, Karen. It was poor in Poland. The pitch now here will be good for their front 3 as well, who have really good talented players who we kept quiet the other night to a certain extent. We see in Payor's threat when she did get her goal. So I think more of the same. Can we keep possession the way we did the other night, which was really impressive. I think we look to hit it long and then go and support it. I think with Denise back in the team, we had that bit more energy, and I just think a bit more of the same in terms of keeping possession, and can we get a couple of goals as well and keep them quiet as best we can.
Karen, Chloe mentioned it there, just how comfortable they were in possession, and we usually see them very comfortable out of possession and being able to manage teams, but that was a change.
Yeah, like Steph said, I think there was purpose to the attack. You know, it felt like the phases of play were being taken from the training ground and brought onto the pitch, and that's obviously really, really pleasing. We can highlight it later, but like the triangles that were being made, it's consistent starting team now as well, so you see those partnerships starting to develop down both sides of the pitch and allowing our wing backs to get forward a little bit, which was what we were crying out for with this back 5.
And Steph, we're looking at Poland warming up out there. How much are we going to have to be wary of them?
Yeah, look, look, I think from their standards, and I think I probably before the game maybe built them up a little bit more than I expected them. I didn't think they were poor in the home game for them, so they'd be looking to come and show a little bit more, I'm sure, and use their superstars like Payor, and I think Tomaziak was quite quiet the other night as well, so just try and keep them as quiet as possible. As I said, I think it will be another tough game for us, but as Karen said, hopefully we can come away with a win.
Yeah, they do look a bit more comfortable out there than they did on that pitch in Gdansk. Right, let's cross over to Tony O'Donoghue now for the team news.
Thanks very much indeed, Marie. Yes, you're on pitch side as well, so you know it's a beautiful day. It's raining, it's sunny, and it's windy, but it's a perfect day for a game of good football in what looks like a perfect pitch as well. I think Anna Patten did that on purpose, by the way. So the Ireland team news, well, let's give it to you. One change, and I think to be expected. Kyra Carusa comes in for Abby Larkin, but there is a benefit of consistency now in the Ireland teams. Carla Ward deciding that one change is sufficient. Kyra Carusa for Abby Larkin. Maria Reynolds of Shamrock Rovers has dropped out of the match day 23. So hopefully that's the team that can do the double over Poland this afternoon. For Poland, they make two changes, and one is not a surprise at all, in fact, because Nadia Kreziman was suspended for the first game, so she comes straight back in. And Victoria Zinovic is in for Zaramba in the back line as well. But that means still that the front three of Poland, Kreziman, Eva Payor and Paulina Tomasiak, formidable indeed, so we won't want to give them those opportunities. There's always a third team as well, of course, and the third team today is the referees team. And a bit of history, a first international for Alexandra Sesson of Slovenia, and her assistant referees in the fourth official, also a Slovenian team. So it's set up nicely here for a big game in a wonderful stadium, and thankfully today a great pitch.
Yeah, it really is set up so nicely. Talk us through the team, Karen, and I guess just the consistency, not only on selection but in formation as well.
Yeah, we were a bit wary of the back five. We were calling out for the four and it didn't work at the start, and Carla Ward was like, I have a very set way of playing, but it didn't suit the players. Now we are playing to our players' strengths. The back five allowing Katie to get forward. The work rate, this system works because of the work rate that Sheva and O'Sullivan do in terms of defence and supporting the attack and creating those triangles like we spoke about earlier. They're so key to that. And Carusa coming back in, I think it's natural. She's always shown up when she's in an Irish jersey. I'm sure she'll give everything she can, and again we'll have Larkin to come off the bench if called upon.
Yeah, for sure. And just on Carusa, she hasn't played a huge amount this season with her club, but when, as Karen said, she does turn up, and she works quite well with Emily Murphy as well.
Yeah, I think their season's only started really, hasn't she? She had 3 substitute appearances, but even in the Netherlands, I think you talked about maybe her lack of game time maybe being an issue, but she always gives everything, she always shows up, and I think Karen mentioned it earlier as well, like I think there's a bit of consistency with the team, a lot of the girls familiar with each other, and I think her coming back in fit, I think was a natural. It was going to happen that she come in, and I think I look at our bench, I'm a little bit concerned with that. I think obviously Maria Reynolds obviously been put out of the squad. We don't have many defenders in there, so hopefully we get through the game now with no injuries or anything like that, because that would be my only concern is what we have on the bench to come in.
Yeah, well look, it's good to have attackers because we do want to score goals. We're getting used to now these big score lines, and not only Steph are we scoring goals, but the build-up play is better as well.
Yeah, it's good. For me as an attacker, I think I would have been crying out of this for years when I was playing in the Irish team, you know, just to be able to keep possession. I talked about it earlier, we don't want us to be just a kick and chase team. I think we've talked about Denise O'Sullivan and how much we missed her against the Netherlands. I think herself and Sheva cover the sides so well. They get over and they're able to combine with the wide players and those 2 forward players up there. I think it's crucial because in the past we probably were lumping it forward and it's coming straight back at us, and it's a very difficult game then to get any sort of momentum. So I think across the last game and in all 3 games we've played so far, we've looked to play when we can. I think you can see here as it comes out we're looking to keep the ball. This way, Denise's movement again, she comes out, she drags players out, and it just leaves those passing lanes then into Abby Larkin. I think Abby Larkin, a player for ability, probably be a little bit disappointed not to get a better strike off here. But just overall, I think the consistency of the team has been really good. And as I said, for me, being an attacking player, it's great to see them having the little bit of bravery to play when we can, keep possession, and don't be in a hurry to give it away.
Yeah, and look, it's not groundbreaking stuff. It's really simple play, but we're doing it really effectively. We're, like you say, we're playing to the strengths of the team. You know, we're not asking our midfielders to go and mazy runs like that, anything like that. It's simply about working hard and supporting each other. And this group seems to be clicking quite well at that. Obviously, we've only got 1 win out of 3, but the performances have been consistent. We, like Steph said, we attempted to play against the Netherlands and France, and that was really positive. And I was worried, would we bring that into a game where we were favourites, and we did.
Yeah, it's great to have a balance across the pitch as well. It's not something that we've always had. And Karen, as good and all as it was in Poland, there are some work-ons, particularly defensively.
Yeah, and they're minor, but they have kind of led to kind of grave effects. And like against the Netherlands, we highlighted this at the time. When you're playing a back five, you really need to communicate really well on who's taking the players there. There we see Katie McCabe and Megan Connolly both pointing at the player. And this is probably the one downfall of a back five. The midfield can get overrun. But this, again, is just not locking on. I think it was highlighted by Louise Quinn at the last day. The centre-backs just need to take responsibility. They're experienced enough to know that. And Poland still do have a threat, and they've got a world-class player. There's probably not anyone else on the pitch who could have finished like Ava Prior did for that goal. But it was just, it's a threat that we have to be aware of. We have to click in. We can't get complacent. We just need to take responsibility. I think that's the main thing.
Steph, Ireland did manage to keep Ava Prior quiet, bar that one goal. She wasn't on the ball a lot. We weren't talking about her in the half-time and post-match analysis. How can they do that again?
Yeah, I think it's just more of the same. I think we were lucky enough. I think the Poland just didn't quite click as well. I know that down to how we started the game, and in fairness, credit to Ireland, they came out in the second half and started that second half quite well too. So I think it just has to be more of the same. Let them worry about us a little bit more so than us worried about them. But also, as Karen mentioned, just being aware of their threats, aware of the spaces. I think for me, it's the space down the side of those three centre backs that can, particularly with Katie McCabe liking to get forward. So it's being aware that if that happens, can we shift across? And as Karen said, centre backs doing their jobs and making sure we defend those spaces as well.
The early goal rocked them as well. So if we could do that again today, I think that'd be nice. The ideal.
Right, we want a quick start in this game. Time for a quick break. On the way, let's get the pre-match thoughts of Carla Ward.
I'm sure you've looked at the Wales game, the second leg here, and was even a suggestion that the shirt was heavy. Do you think psychologically the players are ready for today?
I don't look back, I only look forward. I'm quite positive in my approach, and the last two or 3 days have been really strong. We've had some, really good conversations. We've reflected, we've analysed, we've looked at a lot of areas we want to improve. So yes, we were good, but we want to be better all the time. So psychologically, listen, this group's ready. The weight of that badge does wonders for them. Let me tell you that right now, because when they put on that badge, there's no greater feeling. And even coming into the stadium today, and you can hear the crowd, everything, you realise how special it is to be Irish and putting on that shirt. Are
you expecting a better Poland performance?
Absolutely, yeah. I think, listen, I believe they'll be a lot more aggressive. In the first half against Netherlands, they were super aggressive. I would expect that from them. We've spoken about that. We've spoken about what the first 20 minutes might look like. My message is very clear. We have to be calm. We have to take away any chaos, any momentum, and we have to settle it as quickly as possible.
Best of luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Sky.
Emily Murphy has taken the road less travelled on her route to international football. After some ups and downs, she's found her feet in the green jersey and become a leading light for the Irish team.
Is that 3 Player of the Match awards in a row? Emily Murphy is just showing her value.
How's life right now? Must be good.
Yeah, no, really good. I think every performance is always going to knock you up a bit higher. Yeah, getting Player of the Match is massive in itself.
A few Player of the Matches. Tell me about the Irish connection then.
So my dad is completely Irish. We always grew up, me and my sisters, with Irish passports. I spent a lot of my summers in Westport. Yeah, it was just probably my fondest memories. A lot of family, I think 90% of them will be at the game tomorrow. Yeah, one of the best decisions I could have made, really. When Eileen was the manager, we'd spoken numerous times. Yeah, it was just something that I rang my dad afterwards and was like, this is gonna happen and I can't wait. He was annoyed I'd told him over the phone. He was like, get on FaceTime, like, I need to see you, I need to see you. Word spread very quickly around the family. I had phone calls from my granddad, my godfather, Baz Ashmawi, that I think everyone knows. It was an amazing feeling. I was nervous. Bottom of the line, the English accent doesn't help you out, but that wasn't ever something that was held against me. It was laughed about, of course, and I think if anything, that probably calmed me down a bit. Niamh Fahey, Louise Quinn, Diane Caldwell, Julianne Russell, all players that I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, they were massive leaders in this Irish team, and still have gaps I think you can feel just in the qualities and the characteristics they gave to this team. It lit a fire in me of like, actually I didn't realise how much I wanted it until it was nearly gone. I had a real realization that this isn't something I want to lose, and especially not something that I want to not achieve for myself. Look, I think anyone that's worked with Carla or worked under Carla knows she's a very personable character, and I think that's massive. She mentions a lot about putting the person before the player. I just think she's enhanced the personal connection between player and manager and player and staff, which has been massive. We have to keep our feet on the ground and not get complacent, just to stick to the process. Nothing changes in that sense. They're going to be a very different team that come out. They're coming away from home and they need 3 points, as do we. A win is a non-negotiable, but yeah, I mean, I'd love to get on the score sheet. Who doesn't want to get on the score sheet?
Emily Murphy, 1-0. What an impact she's made.
How much are you looking forward to playing at the Aviva?
Oh yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Now you can see that full interview on the RT Sport YouTube channel as well. Karen, how much of an impact has Emily Murphy had on this team?
Oh, she's been brilliant. She's just relentless, you know. She's always running. She even comes back at the end of games and makes tackles. And you saw she's not afraid to leave in a little bit as well, which we like. It gets her into the game. It sets the tempo. And she's got the confidence. Okay, the keeper could have done better with her shot for the goal, but she had the confidence to take it on, and she brings that into every game now. And it's been great to see her development.
Yeah, Steph, are we quick to write off players, you know, if they haven't reached a certain level by 2021? You know, she's 23 and things weren't always going to plan for her, but over the last year or so she's put in the work, and now it's been she's getting the results.
Yeah, I think even just listening to her there, for any young player out there, it's about consistency, it's about not taking anything for granted. I think she's been in around squads with Eileen and obviously got her chance over the last couple of games, and she's been probably our best player. Has that X factor, doesn't she? She has that. You're looking at her kind of going, she's going to pull something out of the bag here for us, and credit to her, she's stuck at it. She's become a really big part of this squad now, and as I said, it just shows that sometimes things in football aren't going well, but you've got to stick at it and keep going. So for any young player, she's a very good inspiration too, I think.
Yeah, it'll be great to see how she gets on that lovely pitch as well. And Karen, she mentioned Carla as well, and the common theme we're hearing about Carla is just how personable she is. But she seems to be getting the best out of this group.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I say, it's not reinventing the wheel here, but she's getting the best out of this players. Emily Murphy said it there. They lost a lot of leaders. There's been a bit of a transition there, but they seem to have gelled now and realised that they all have to step up to the plate to kind of fill those voids, and they've certainly been doing it in the last 3 games.
Yeah, and Steph, one thing as well about Ireland teams is that in the past, when they were playing against teams at their level, we weren't always sure how they were going to go. We knew what they would do against the really higher ranked teams, but teams around them, they often struggle. But that, given the last performance, seems to be in the past as well now.
Yeah, I suppose we always had the kind of underdog mentality, didn't we? We were going out looking to put it up to the best teams in the world, but when we were expected to play football, we probably fell short a little bit. As I said, looking at the clips we showed there earlier, there's really good players within this team, and it's about trusting your ability, and I think Carla seems to be getting that from the girls, and it's not, as Karen says, it's simple stuff. It's making them believe in their own ability and making them believe that we can play against teams, and just getting us used to having that different mentality of switching it up. Yes, we have to dog it out to get results against the top teams, but when we have the opportunity to go and play.
Okay, Karen, give me your prediction.
Well, if we perform like we did in Poland, I see us coming away with all 3 points. It's just about, can we be consistent? So I would predict that we would win based on, I felt like there was a bit of a gulf in quality between the two teams, and hopefully we see the same today.
Steph?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with Karen here. I think we'll get the win if we do what we done on Tuesday. I think we've got a good opportunity, but keep those stars quiet, and I think we'll get the 3 points.
Right, it is exciting. Agus Mas Man live Tatraku le Fall Osquelga le Kyra Carusa Branach Agus Maeve de Burka are an RTE player Agus are an RTE News channel, and we're going to hand over to our English language commentary team of Rhiannon Jarrett and Des Kern now.
Yeah, Gaurav Mahagud, Marie, an ever-evolving group table that took on a new hue on Tuesday night when Ireland's notable win on the road in Gdansk was followed by the Netherlands beating France in Breda, all of which saw Carla Ward's charges climb off the foot of the table above Poland, and the now sole remaining unbeaten side, the Dutch, take top spot. Match day 4 now looks key. Poland and Dublin, and later on Auxerre hosting the meeting of the top 2. A win for Ireland here, Rihanna, would set them up perfectly to at least claim third and possibly take a shot at one of the 2 above.
Yeah, it'll put them in great going into the June international window. It was a big win in Gdansk, and hoping we can see the same thing here today in the Aviva. Really looking forward to it.
Yeah, and a 3 o'clock Saturday kickoff as well, which is most welcome. A little unusual these days, but the teams are walking onto what will be a pitch far removed from what we saw in Gdansk on Tuesday. when Ireland had a lot to contend with, including that surface. But no excuses today, and we wonder how much better Poland will be playing at the Aviva as opposed to their home stadium as well. Huge fixture now. Poland aside playing catch-up. And events to come later on. France and the Netherlands. And we wonder how the group will stand at the end of tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthems. First, the Polish national anthem. And now, our own Avian, sung by singer-songwriter from Bray, Kyra.
To get proceedings underway. Fantastic rendition of our own Avian from Kyra, and hopefully that will add extra inspiration to what this Irish side look to produce today. Weather conditions ideal, a little bit of a breeze, crowd on the far side basking in the April sunshine. I'm hoping to see this upwardly mobile Ireland side kick on again here and complete what would be a really good week for them. Carla Ward makes just a single change to her starting 11. Kyra Carusa, who missed out in Gdansk due to illness, returns to resume her partnership up top with Emily Murphy, the latter off the back of another standout display on Tuesday. A goalkeeper in back five now that has that very familiar look to it. And Katie McCabe, a captain seeking to score for a fourth group game running. And in midfield, the undoubted abilities of Denise O'Sullivan and the all-action Marissa Sheva.
Now, let's give the girls a
well, as Tony was referring to earlier, a big day for Alexandra Chestin of Slovenia and her team of match officials. The referee taking charge of her first senior international game. Captains once again set to play a big role, but which will have the bigger influence? Poland win the toss. Nina Pantalon has shown a liking for mixing up her starting 11 from game to game so far. And this afternoon, two changes at opposite ends of the pitch. At the back, Victoria Zienovic restored to the lineup in place of Alexandra Zaremba. And at the other end, Nadia Kreziman, who missed out on Tuesday due to suspension, returns with Natalia Padilla dropping to the bench. And like her Irish counterpart, Poland's captain Eva Pajor has scored in each group game so far to take her international tally to a mightily impressive 71 goals. Well, she is the obvious danger again today, Rihanna. Ireland did very well to curb her influence for the most part on Tuesday in Gdansk, and that will be key to maybe deciding this game today.
Yeah, she's by far one of the best players in women's football throughout the world, and I think she showed her class in terms of her finish for the Polish goal on Tuesday night. As you said, Ireland done very well to keep her quiet and keep it at a minimum to what she was able for, so she'll be hoping for more in this game. It's a better surface, there's a lot more space on this pitch today, so hopefully the Ireland back three and the back five can keep her quiet.
Well, every point now crucial, and what Ireland hope is ultimately the road to Brazil and Irish side. Perhaps somewhere in the back of the mind still hurting from that Euros playoff loss to Wales, when the hope was to make it to back-to-back major tournaments. But this emerging outfit looks one on the right path. And as for Poland, well, they've arrived here visibly and vocally frustrated by Tuesday's result, mostly how they started that game. So you'd expect them to come out strong here. Pajor in the aftermath of Tuesday suggesting they could and should have been bolder and braver and more front-footed.
I'll touch on that, Des. You spoke about how they were disappointed about how they start the game. I think that's been one of our biggest improvements in this campaign so far, is how we've brought the game to each of the three opposition that we've played so far. So hopefully we can see that today in the sun.
The opening two defeats, each by the odd goal in three, to sides of the calibre of France and the Netherlands, mightn't have brought points, but they would have certainly seen the Irish confidence grow in terms of what they're capable of at the highest level. It has been mentioned, and I'm sure everyone aware now, the higher in this group you finish, in theory the easier path you will have to the end of the year playoffs. Lovely ball from Sheva. Murphy down the left hand side. Tomasiak back defending. Murphy holding on. McCabe, and now Chloe Mustaki. Sheva again, Ireland popping it around confidently. In the opening minute and a half, Caitlin Hayes.
Yeah, I think, Des, we want to put ourselves in the best possible position after these 6 games going into the playoffs, and if we can finish third, if not second, you don't know the way that the group is going, but obviously a 3 points here will go a long way, putting 5 points between ourselves and the Polish team going into that final round of fixtures.
And look how quickly Poland got 3 around Emily Murphy there. Interesting to see Victoria Zienovic in at right back ahead of Zaremba. She would have been the starting right back. Zienovic, and maybe brings a bit of a more physical presence to that position. Sullivan challenging the air, beaten to it by Adriana Chinska. Kamczyk finding some space around the outside here, faced up by Mustaki. Digs out across, Hayes well positioned at the near post. And Mustaki wins the goal kick, but certainly we've seen the likes of Kamczyk and the influence they have for Poland, one of 3 Centurions in the starting 11.
Yeah, I think that area is going to be really important for Ireland, that kind of in behind Katie McCabe. She likes to get forward, and we allow her to get forward. That's where we want her playing, but it's very important that we don't leave Chloe Mustaki isolated in those wider channels either.
Pavelek, score of that brilliant header on Tuesday with the ball forward. Here's O'Sullivan. Works it out to Mannion. Never want to panic, but O'Sullivan's come under pressure here, and the shots will be comfortably claimed by Courtney Brosnan, but Poland already looking to show more intent.
Yeah, they're looking to bring the game to Ireland rather than let us bring the game to them this time around, Des.
O'Sullivan came in for a little bit of treatment in the first game. Pavelek, Chinska, Wiankowska, all taking a fairly physical approach to the Ireland playmaker. Something she hasn't felt before.
Nah, O'Sullivan, she's used to it. She's the heartbeat of this team. She's who we want to play through, especially in those central areas, and it was vital that we got her back.
Mannion slips it for Carusa. She's played very little club football in the last 6 months, indeed, Kyra Carusa, but testimony to the condition she keeps herself in.
Yeah, it says a lot about her and her character and the style of player that she is as well.
Able to keep that one in play before the cross came in. Does have an Aviva goal to her name against Northern Ireland. Was in front of 36,000 September of 2023, the women's national team's first game here. And this today their 6th. Olivia Voss. And now Paulina Dudek. Wiankowska, who's an energetic presence up and down that left-hand side. Sets it there in front of Voss. Dudek, and now Carusa goes hunting. Likewise O'Sullivan. Wiankowska and Kresiman. And they've wrapped the space well here, and there is the running power of Wiankowska again. Patten now to look to deal with her. Blocks off her path, referee happy with it. Dudek again. Kresiman and Wiankowska, and showing real ambition down that left-hand side. And Patten to the rescue once more.
Yeah, Patten done well to get back in behind the ball there. It looked as though she was a little bit caught out.
Poland on the front foot here. The aggression, the intensity in their game early on. Pawelek back to Kamczyk. And Wiankowska happy to go back to her centre-backs and start again. Shemik, the West Ham goalkeeper, would have been disappointed with the concession, I would think, of the first goal. Got a hand to it, Emily Murphy's efforts. Couldn't keep it out of the net. Here is Achinska. Pawelek and Kamczyk, the 3 midfielders. Murphy went in bravely. Ball back with Patten now. Mannion. Running into trouble, and grateful to hear the whistle, Aoife Mannion.
Yeah, that's why she's got caught. She got caught a little bit deeper, where she tried to play a ball to O'Sullivan, but probably needed to go back to Hayes. Hayes and Patten were both on in that instance, and we couldn't have got play switched out to the other side.
Yeah, I think we could hear Katie McCabe from our position way up here saying go back to switch it out. But there was room for Mustaki and McCabe down the left-hand side.
Yeah, you can see how compact the Polish are now. It's just important that we keep moving the ball, don't try and force it, and then look to force and create those gaps.
Mustaki asks Murphy to go off and chase. Achinska, pacey herself, and the strength to see it out over the end line.
Yeah, they're the type of balls that worked against Belgium the last time we were here in the Aviva.
Win on Tuesday saw Poland fall to defeating Gdansk for the very first time in 10 games they've played there. A little bit of a topsy-turvy affair. They had their moments, particularly the second half of that first half.
Yeah, I think their goal just before half-time was vital for them. Kind of brought a bit of energy for them and kind of showed what the pressure they were putting on us.
And they promised more aggression coming here. And Wiankowska, as we said, not one to take a backward step, was prominent in that regard in the first leg. Into a foul, Carusa here.
Yeah, I think Carusa's just smart there. Gets her body in between player and ball and wins Ireland a free kick.
And the two usual suspects standing over it, Katie McCabe and Megan Connolly. Quite a high line held by the Polish rear guard as well. Well outside the 18 yards. So here we go, Connolly steps away, McCabe. And heading towards the penalty spot. Where's it going to drop? Zinovits clears. Sheva battling forward, back by Payor. And plenty of time here for Murphy. McCabe to show her passing range, couldn't force it through to Mannion. Picked up by Wiankowska. And here is Voss. Good searching ball for Tomasiak. Almost perfect as well. Dropped it over the head of the retreating Mustaki.
Yeah, Mustaki will be happy to see that ball bounce out of play. I think Poland will be the happier of the two teams in this first 10 minutes. Ireland haven't really been able to create any kind of patterns of play like we've seen in that first game.
Ireland skipper looking for a ball. To Sheva she goes, but that's sliced out of play. Almost 10 minutes in, Ireland still to settle here. Dudek. Wiankowska, who reached the 100 cap mark in the group opening draw at home to the Dutch. Pavelek wins the throw in on the far side. One of half a dozen in the squad who operate in Germany. She's with Union Berlin, newly promoted to the top flight after a decade and more at Eintracht Frankfurt. Mannion into the tackle, pushed back literally by Kreziman. That's a little bit of help here provided by Hayes. And again, that Polish pressure. Kreziman. Slipped that little ball inside, and Wiankowska, had she taken that with her, she was into the penalty area. Strong work by Carusa. Her pass has gone straight to Payor, and that was important from Hayes. A little bit of space in behind that time for Payor. McCabe slips it to Sheva. Strength from Tomasiak. Too much there for Sheva, and Pavelek opens it out for Poland.
Yeah, they've definitely brought their strength and their aggression and their physicality into this game. Ireland need to try and just get a little bit of foothold, just trying to stem the possession that the Polish have and see if we can turn it around a little bit.
In Poland's games to this point, they led and ultimately struck late to grab that draw against the Dutch in Gdansk. They're in the game in France, played in Dijon. 2-1 when Kreziman was sent off in first half added time. Here goes Carusa. Checking back, O'Sullivan on the move in her inside. No ball coming yet.
Yeah, Denise isn't happy there at all. She made a great run forward, found a little bit of space, and she just wanted Carusa to play that ball a little bit earlier.
Headed clear by Paulina Dudek of Paris Saint-Germain. Here's McCabe. No pressure on the cross here. O'Sullivan arriving around the back. Took it well in her chest, but Wiankowska was there to ensure she couldn't get her shot away.
Yeah, Wiankowska does very well to get the right side of her. I just thought when that ball was dropping to Denise on her chest that she was going to be able to take it down and get a strike off.
Patten drills it into the feet of Carusa. Here's Murphy. Two runners to her left, McCabe and Sheva. McCabe puts it in, goalkeeper backpedaling. Oh, I think it had just gone out of play before O'Sullivan met it.
Yeah, it was a search and cross from Katie McCabe, but that's much better. A couple of different passages of play. You can see what Kyra Carusa brings as that ball was fired into her. She does very well to take it under control, and we get the ball out the other side.
Shemek, who played a huge part in the historic qualification campaign that got them to their first major finals last year, Euro 2025. Machinska, Pavelek, and Sheva in quickly. Down the left-hand side they go again. Kreziman, who's made a bright start, taking on Mannion. Payor! Oh, ripples the side netting. But that left-hand side, Wiankowska, and the available again, Nadia Kreziman, carrying a real threat in the opening stages here.
Yeah, very positive from Poland. Kreziman, she's just bringing that little bit of quality for them. Obviously, Eva Payor, we know what she's all about. She's got great movement, and she'll be a little bit disappointed with that one by her standards.
A lethal finisher in 9 seasons at Wolfsburg, and then a record haul in her debut season last time around with Barcelona, 43 goals. She's essentially been a goal a game since she's arrived in Spain, Eva Payor, and you can see with movement like that exactly why.
Yeah, she's everything you want from your centre forward, her movement, her aggression, but her finishing as well, and with stats like that, no one comes close.
And 13 points clear of Wolfsburg at the top of the Bundesliga, 5 games to play. Champions League semi-final against Bayern Munich, cup final against Atletico. Carusa putting Dudek under pressure here. Dudek tried to keep it wide. O'Sullivan deflected. Oh, Murphy's rattled the crossbar. And on the follow-up, Sheva couldn't finish. She wants a corner. Don't think she's going to get one, but Emily Murphy just stretching forward, couldn't keep it underneath the bar.
Yeah, you can see everything about Kyra Carusa there. Denise O'Sullivan, great little change of direction there. I think the deflection and the way it bounced just probably took it off her, maybe took her eye off the ball a little bit, but she'll be killing herself. It's a great opportunity to put Ireland ahead, but once again, great strength from Kyra Carusa. She didn't give up on the ball, and that's where the opportunity came from.
Well, 2 close run things, one at either end. Payor, side netting. A crossbar from Emily Murphy. Voss. It's a decent looking first time ball that puts Mustaki on the back foot. Olivia Voss, who just joined Bristol City in the winter transfer window. A really good option with that long ball from centre half. Payor pinning Hayes. Achinska. So Dudek a little short. Mannion can head away. And here is Carusa. Connolly. Sheva and Mustaki.
Better from Ireland, getting some sustained possession of the ball, trying to move the Polish.
McCabe clips it forward, and vigilant work by Achinska, the most defensively minded of those 3 midfielders. Indeed started centre half in the loss in France in Dijon. Poland, in terms of their Nations League campaign, unbeaten, 5 wins and a draw and 6 to win League B. 8 points clear of Northern Ireland, who they beat home and away.
Yeah, they gave a good account of themselves in the Euros in the summer last year. Didn't make it out of the group, but they were actually very unfortunate in the end.
In with Germany, Sweden and Denmark. Opened with 2 defeats, and then the historic final group game, 3-2 win against the Danes. Brosnan. Murphy beaten in the air by Voss. Kamchik. Now Zianovits. Left-footed this time. She's not too much on that one, Olivia Voss, but again looking up to open up the pitch early.
Yeah, you can see what they're looking to do. They're looking to get in behind that space that our wing backs leave when they're playing just that little bit higher.
Hayes zips it out to McCabe. That ball's still in play. Tomasiak picked it up. Didn't look like the whole of the ball had gone out, or at least the flag didn't go up from the assistant referee. And it is an Ireland free kick.
Oh, I can see what happened there. They were looking for the handball from McCabe initially.
Ireland captain looking for a yellow card as well. That's fallen on deaf ears. Referees tend not to like being told what to do.
No, not at all.
Sullivan, fabulous touch, and she sprung Murphy here. Oh, couldn't keep it in play. That first touch from Denise O'Sullivan. That's what you've come to expect of her.
Yeah, she's a class of her own, as O'Sullivan, and we definitely missed her in that Netherlands game. Great ball in behind, just a little bit too much on it for Emily Murphy. Couldn't quite get there, but I think we need to see Denise more on the ball as this first half goes on.
It's been an interesting 19-20 minutes, no goals. Both sides having their moments. Pavelek. And the switch out, Tomasiak keeping that width down this right-hand side. Supported there by Achinska. Gets through a mountain of work. Tomasiak again. Provided a cross for the Pavelek header on Tuesday. Didn't get enough on that one. Mannion off and running and fed by O'Sullivan. Kresiman with the pace to get back goal side.
Yeah, the Polish are doing that very well when they have the ball. Tomasiak and Kresiman, they're keeping their width, which is allowing Eva Payor the whole of the middle, and Kamzic is getting high up with her as well.
And a Patten first time layoff from Carusa. Chloe Mustaki. Good pace on the pass again to give McCabe time. I guess that's another benefit of Chloe Mustaki, the form she's in, the position she plays, that if Katie McCabe does go, Mustaki has played a lot of her career at left back.
Yeah, absolutely. She's comfortable in those positions. She's aware of where she needs to go, so it's actually freeing McCabe up that little bit more, which is what we like to see.
Aoife Mannion. And Carusa off and running those channels again. Lovely little drop of the shoulder, ekes out the cross. Murphy, Sheva in there as well. Hoisted away by Olivia Voss. McCabe and Zienovic stood her ground.
Yeah, it was a great drop of the shoulder by Carusa just to free herself up, give herself that little bit of space, and I think Marissa Sheva just thought that Murphy was going to get a touch on it.
Lovely little pass inside there from Evelina Kamczyk to get Poland moving forward. Tomasiak. Megan Connolly was late and she caught Adriana Achinska.
Yeah, Achinska just gets in front of her, gets the touch. It looked like they were both going to arrive at the same time.
Towards the midway point of this first half. Dudek and Voss, two big physical presences to aim for here. Kamczyk or the left-footed Wiankowska. Wiankowska puts it in, skims off the head of Katie McCabe, and claimed by Courtney Brosnan.
Yeah, it wasn't a great ball in the end, and Brosnan will be thankful to see that go into her gloves.
Balls it out straight away to O'Sullivan. Able to link up with McCabe. Hard to think that down the line there will be an Ireland without Katie McCabe and Denise O'Sullivan. They've been major driving forces in this team for many a year now.
Yeah, it's hard to think of it. Hard to think of a time without them, to be honest. They've been a mainstay, and as I said earlier, you could see how much we missed Denise when she wasn't playing, and likewise, we've no one else at the minute of the calibre of Katie McCabe down that left-hand side either.
Achinska back to Voss. And now Shemik. Poland certainly enjoying this surface a lot more themselves. Wiankowska, Payor on the move. And Caitlin Hayes taking no chances.
Yeah, they're moving the ball a lot more. I touched on it, the movement between Payor and Kamczyk. One goes deeper, one stays higher, but they're actually playing in behind the midfield three of O'Sullivan, Connolly and Sheva, but not quite as high as on our back three. So I think that if they can get that ball a little bit central, they'll actually cause Ireland a little bit of problems in there.
Payor Up on the left-hand side, Wiankowska. Kreisman. Deflection on that cross. Sheva back in her own penalty area. That's going to run for a corner. We saw the Pavelek goal on Tuesday off it, well, the second phase of a corner, really. Ireland will have to be vigilant and hope they've got their matchups right in there.
Yeah, you'd be hoping they would have learned their lessons. That goal just before half-time wasn't ideal for Ireland.
Evelina Kamczyk, the team's vice-captain, to take it. Kreisman, a late arrival, edge of the penalty area. Held up by Katie McCabe. Kamczyk feeds it back in, Hayes to head away. And a clearance completed by McCabe.
Yeah, dealt with well in the end, but you can see that they've got a couple of different routines, both for free kicks and for corners. Something that they definitely work on a lot in training.
That ball in from Kamczyk, if there's one you want to avoid in there, it's Caitlin Hayes.
She gets her head on everything in both ends of the box, to be fair.
Worked her way back into the starting 11 at club level, with Brighton famous FA Cup quarter-final win at Arsenal. And it will be Hayes against O'Sullivan in an FA Cup final. Or semi-final rather, upcoming.
Yeah, it's been a big few months for Hayes. She's managed to work her way back in, obviously, to the starting 11 of Carla Ward's team, and obviously she'll be delighted with that FA Cup run that they're on with Brighton as well. An exciting end to the season, and obviously it's great to see Denise O'Sullivan so close, playing in the WSL now and doing a great job. She's really helped Liverpool turn their season around.
Flight home's a lot shorter for Denise O'Sullivan these days. Sheva bundled over by the more physically imposing Achinska. But already over 50 caps. Achinska for Poland. Plays that position well. Pavelek heads forward, on by Payor. And Sheva's everywhere at the moment.
Yeah, that's one thing that we mentioned in the studio before the game, is the energy and the athleticism that midfield three, especially Sheva and O'Sullivan, that they bring, and it's been needed already in this first half.
Maybe a little bit of a whisper going around the ground a few hours before kick-off that Rusha Littlejohn might be getting the nod today, but she's not played too much club football this season. It'll be very difficult to leave out one of these three.
Yeah, they done very well in Tuesday's game. It would have been very harsh on one of them to leave them out, but obviously she is back in the squad, so you never know, we might see her at some stage depending on how the game gets going.
And we saw the return of Jesu in the late minutes in Gdansk. Huge fill-up for her personally and for the squad as a whole, you would think.
Yeah, it was great to see Jesu back on the pitch. She's still so young, got so much quality, but unfortunately suffered 2 ACL tears back-to-back, but she's come back better and stronger, so I'm excited to see how she unravels over the next couple of months.
Still just 23, Jesu, so a long career ahead of her. Mustaki. That's a good ball for Murphy. It's timed her run well. Uses Sheva as the decoy, waits for the arrival of her captain. Katie McCabe wraps that left foot around it. Kamczyk under pressure and headed back in. Oh, Mannion's effort cleared up from underneath the crossbar. Aoife Mannion again. Just couldn't pull the trigger. 2 Polish shirts converging. Nimble work from Payor, but ball taken off her toe by McCabe. Carusa trying to smuggle it through to Murphy. But there we saw it, one wing back crossing from the left, another in there with a header on goal.
Yeah, we've spoken about when we play this back five that we want to get our wing backs more expansive and higher, and we definitely seen a prime example of that. It was a great delivery by Katie McCabe, very inviting. Kyra Carusa does well to get across the goalkeeper, but the goalkeeper matches her, and probably you might want Denise O'Sullivan for that ball to end, to fall to her at the edge of the box rather than Aoife Mannion.
Mannion setting off again down that right-hand side. And Wiankowska penalised, a little too aggressive that time.
There you can see it, a great delivery from Katie McCabe. Keeper does well.
She's unlucky there with that header. Mannion Voss, the tallest player on this Polish team, stretching every inch to win that header. I think the goalkeeper backpedaling might have been in difficulty.
Yeah, she had the right idea. Just loop it over, send it back to where it came from.
Opened her accounts. Late 2024 in Tbilisi, Aoife Mannion. Almost finding another there. Good angle this for Katie McCabe. Flat delivery. Oh, Nana Patten just didn't sit there for her. Tomasiak does a good defensive job and gets the ball away, and Payor and Emily Murphy, she's got that job to do when Ireland have corners. She's back on the halfway line. Time and again we see her picking up those loose balls, averting the danger.
Yeah, she does it well. She's got good positioning, she's aggressive, she's strong, and she's got a little bit of pace about her as well.
Pretty even contest through the opening half hour. Nina Pantalon will be feeling an awful lot better about how they've started this game. They've had a couple of lucky escapes, that Mannion header and Emily Murphy off the bar, but had a few sights of Courtney Brosnan's goal themselves.
Yeah, they were already 2-0 down at this stage, I believe, on Tuesday night, so they're definitely a lot happier, and I think they brought the game to Ireland. As you said, definitely in those first 10 minutes Ireland have grown into it a little bit more, but you said chances few and far between.
Dudek covering her centre-back partner Voss. Sheva. And good feed from Murphy. Patten. Carusa works it out first time. O'Sullivan, Mannion right of her. Hayes. And Patten. And nothing wrong with this from Ireland, just keeping the ball for a little spell here.
Yeah, absolutely. The right idea. Shifting the ball, trying to see if they can find a little bit of pockets of space.
Well, they got Katie McCabe into another crossing position, but it's a rarity.
Yeah, that's poor from anyone's standards, but especially from McCabe's standards. I think we probably could have shifted the ball a little bit more there. Didn't really have too much going on at the box. No need to force it.
Here is Dudek at club level, always in pursuit of Lyon. They did win one famous title back in 2021 when Lyon were going for 12 in a row. A few cup successes as well. Payor setting off, and that pass picked off by Marissa Sheva. O'Sullivan taken down by Wiankowska, who's had a couple now on Denise O'Sullivan. We'll have to be careful.
Yeah, she won't mind giving away a free kick in that area of the pitch though. The referee not happy with that short free kick for some reason.
Wiankowska certainly entertaining to watch on the left-hand side for Poland. Everything she does is with 100% put into it, whether it's attacking or defending.
A manager's dream, that is.
You can see why she has over 100 caps. McCabe, the 8th Ireland women's national team centurion. Now back with Hayes. Stepping in here, ball into the feet of Murphy. He wrote the first challenge, then had to go into a second and a third. Pavelek. Oh, Mannion couldn't get it under her spell. Kreisman. Payor moving. Kreisman ends up down in the penalty area. Here is Kamczyk. Wiankowska. Working the 1-2. Decent looking ball in, flicked away by Patten. Achinska. It comes to nothing. O'Sullivan in bravely against Pavelek, and then beautiful feet to spin away from Kamczyk and set up this Ireland counter-attack. Just came off the heel of Emily Murphy to take the momentum out of it.
Yeah, it looked as though Aoife Mannion was caught out by that ball in behind, but she actually does very well. I think Cressyman cutting back onto her right foot actually played into her favour, which allowed her to get a touch on the ball.
Murphy up and running. Dudek trying to go with her. Lovely pull back to the penalty spot. Sheva did her utmost to try and get in off the left-hand side and meet it. Here's Aoife Mannion. Right to the backwards away on the volley by Tomasiak. Payor held up by Hayes. This will break for Cressyman. He certainly brought plenty to that left side of the attack. Blocked off by O'Sullivan. Free kick Poland.
Yeah, Cressyman's definitely been a welcome addition for the Poland team after missing out on Tuesday's game.
And after this, lovely nutmeg from Cressyman. Yellow card for Denise O'Sullivan. And that, as you can see, comes with a hefty price. A suspension for the visit of the Netherlands down in Cork, so that will hurt on a few fronts for Denise O'Sullivan.
Yeah, it's not ideal from an Irish perspective.
Kamczyk, oh, Dudek had made a really good run there. The ball just a fraction heavy for her. Patten into Connolly. Here comes that pressure. And Poland have turned it over. Kamczyk is going to have a go. Caught it well, but straight down the throat of Brosnan. Chinska, I think it is, in difficulty here. Threw herself into that tackle.
Yeah, Connolly getting caught on the ball there in a dangerous place for Ireland. Needed to be sharper, needed to move the ball a little bit. Carla will welcome this little bit of break and play, get a little bit of information onto them.
Just got herself across Connolly to ensure that contact came with her first, but has paid the price for it. Adriana Chinska. And for Carla Ward, Gary Cronin a chance to get the troops in. Quick recap on the opening 37 minutes, pluses and minuses. Just back to the yellow card for O'Sullivan. You've also got Emily Murphy, Katie McCabe and Marissa Sheva in a similar position of the starting Ireland 11. Chinska, though, as we've seen over the last week, is made of tough stuff, and as she hobbles towards the sideline, I fancy she'll be back into the action soon enough.
Yeah, she looked to be in a little bit of a discomfort when she first went down after she got treatment, but she'll be hoping that she can come back in and keep going the way she's been going. Just on those yellow cards, as we'll be hoping that that one for O'Sullivan is the last one that we see today. You mentioned a couple of key players that we can't afford to be missing going into those final two games either.
Play resumes, the ball with Chloe Mustaki. Chinska awaiting the call to return to the field of play. It's not coming yet, she's ready to go down there. Switch of play from Hayes. Just asked too much of McCabe.
Yeah, we know those switches of play are a big fan of Caitlin Hayes. She loves to play them, but she's a little bit too much on it in that instance.
Tomasiak to Zienovic, quickly closed down by Megan Connolly. Zienovic again. The left footer playing on the right hand side. Payor lost it, then went to win it back again. Mustaki putting Voss on the back foot, no chances taken. Under pressure from Emily Murphy.
Yeah, good pressure from Murphy there. It just doesn't allow Voss to clear it cleanly and gets Ireland a throw in a good position.
And you can hear the decent knot of Polish supporters down to our left-hand side. Denise O'Sullivan on the edge. Here is Connolly. And she was disappointed with that effort.
Yeah, she was always striking across it. You could see the pressure coming from the Polish midfielders there.
Enjoying life these days, the second season in the Italian capital with Lazio. Megan Connolly. Her regular position is the middle of a back three.
Yeah, I was going to say she's very versatile is Megan. I think we've seen it over the years with Ireland as well. She mainly features as a holding midfielder, but she's often featured in that three centre-back position as well.
Chloe Mustaki up towards Carusa, who wins the flick on, and Murphy stretching those legs, race on with Zienovic. Connolly, a little bit of time here for Mannion now, takes a steadying touch. Carusa has kept herself on side, and from a tight angle, cross shot, that's bundled in at the back post. Marissa Sheva strikes again, and what a time to find this goal late in the first half. Well, terrific work, the ball forward, the flick on from Carusa. Ireland were running from that point. Carusa popping up again far side. A low ball in, fell kindly for Marissa Sheva. The Republic of Ireland 1, Poland 0.
Yeah, great play by Ireland. Just a simple ball forward from Chloe Mustaki, but you can see as it gets switched out here, Kyra Carusa, great run, she's well onside, just puts the ball across goal into a dangerous position, and that touch from the keeper is actually very favourable for Marissa Sheva. She's in the right place at the right time, and she probably won't score an easier goal in her life.
Well, she's making an impact again, Marissa Sheva. That takes her to 5 goals now. And her second at the Aviva Stadium after that stunner here in the playoff first leg against Belgium.
Yeah, we spoke about that goal just before half-time in Tuesday's game for Poland. Ireland have done it now. Hopefully they can see this out until half-time, and it'll be a great goal, a great timing.
O'Sullivan, or rather Connolly is picking that one off. Here's Murphy. Just anticipating that she might have had someone to her left. And Sheva rewarded again for another industrious display here in an Ireland shirt. Kamchik, that's not a great ball. Murphy through the legs of Voss. Dudek trying to get across, using all her experience there, not going to ground, staying on her feet.
No, Dudek read the situation very well. Emily Murphy was really sharp to get onto that pouncing ball there.
Mustaki again keeping it simple. Little ball shuffled inside to Connolly. Now space to step into for Anna Patten. Mannion. Patten wanting to pass forward, goes for Mannion in the end, and that's out for a throw-in.
Yeah, Poland were happy for us to keep the ball down our right-hand side there.
Well, I know now if they can keep a clean sheet here, that will wrap up a terrific week for them.
Yeah, if they can get 3 points from this game again, as I said earlier, it'll put 5 points between them and Poland. It'll be massive in terms of that playoff positioning and the calibre of teams that we'll come up against.
And then a chance for the players maybe to keep tabs on what's happening in the other game tonight, France against the Netherlands.
Yeah, obviously we've seen the Netherlands beating France on Tuesday. I don't think too many people would have thought that would have happened in this group.
McCabe, lovely weight on that pass forward, and Murphy on the move again, albeit in an offside position this time. And Zianovits gets that ball back and moving quickly. Kresiman. Plays our cup football in France with Dijon, still just 21 years of age. Voss launches one again towards Tomasiak. Hasn't quite got the bearings right for that ball so far in this first half, Voss, but looking for it again.
Yeah, and you could see that Chloe Mustaki had anticipated that. She had edged over kind of into that left back position, expecting that ball to go into that channel.
At least 2 minutes to be added on at the end of this first half. That's been well contested in terms of the scoreline. That crucial breakthrough goal going Ireland's way.
Yeah, obviously Ireland will be happier with the scoreline going in at half-time, but there hasn't been too much between the two teams.
Zianovits, aimless ball, that one picked off by Hayes. Pavelek and Voss. Paulina Dudek. Nice ball, inviting Martina Wiankowska to drive down that left-hand side again. But now she's out of position. Mannion looking to exploit it with a run. Ball in the end back with Hayes.
Yeah, great touch backwards from Emily Murphy there. She anticipated the pressure and allowed Ireland to retain possession.
Mannion has stayed advanced. Ireland's back three, no surprise in the circumstances and no rush here. Here's the goal scorer.
Yeah, they're just happy to keep possession. Poland have dropped off, they've got back into their defensive block, there's no pressure on the ball.
The initial shout to Mustaki was to stay on it. Now she advances. McCabe. Chased by Tomasiak. Tried that little ball, slipped into Emily Murphy. Poland look to break, time not on their side. They're going to do something, they're going to have to do it quickly. Ireland now a chance to keep it to that half-time whistle and go in with tails up here. Well, Poland came out fighting, physical, aggressive and on the front foot. Had that chance, flashed just wide by Eva Payor. And at the other end, Emily Murphy hit the crossbar. Aoife Mannion, a header cleared from underneath the crossbar, but eventually Ireland found the breakthrough. Good work by Carusa. And arriving in the right place at the right time, Marissa Sheva. Goals home and away against Poland for her. And at half-time, as we head to a break, we'll do so on a positive Ireland scoreline. It's the Republic of Ireland 1, Poland 0.
Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed the first
Scott.
Now another solid half of football from Ireland. Marissa Sheva in the right place at the right time, makes no mistake, and it's very much advantage Ireland at the Aviva Stadium in front of 18,267 fans. Karen, plenty to celebrate there, because that was an important goal and a decent half of football from Ireland.
Yeah, decent half of football from Ireland, but I have to say I was impressed by Poland. This is a different outfit to what we saw in the away leg. They've been very disciplined, they set traps, and that goal puts a completely different complexion on the first half now for Ireland. Really positive to get that goal just before half-time.
Absolutely, and to be going in with a clean sheet as well into the second half. But Steph, that goal, Marissa Sheva, she just seems to be improving game after game.
Yeah, look, it came at a really good time as well, and we talked about her energy in midfield, and I think just having that willingness to get into the box and be a nuisance. Really good play from her to play a direct ball up to Carusa. great header down. And Emily Murphy does really well to be patient in possession here, and they work it across. Really good awareness from Megan Connolly, and I think the Polish backline will be disappointed with their line here because it's far too easy for Carusa to get on that ball, but as it comes across, like Rihanna said in commentary, it's probably the easiest goal she can get, but I've seen strikers miss those chances if it comes off you the wrong way, you know, so she does well to steer it into the back of the net, and as I said, the energy and the enthusiasm out of her, you can see it in her celebration, like she's been a really good spark for Ireland today.
Yeah, it shows the value of Carusa as well, and just the damage she's able to cause when she attacks in those wide areas.
Yeah, and it gives us a different option. I think we're going to look at Poland now in a couple of seconds, but I think they've been quite compact. They've stopped us playing those central options, so having Carusa up there gives us a target player and gives us a runner into those corners, so it's been great to have her back in that starting 11 too.
So Karen, we said it was a decent half of football, and ultimately was it a decent half of football because Poland were different and they made it quite difficult?
They did, they made it really difficult. I'm far more impressed by them in this game than I was in the previous game. Early doors we saw some really, really good aggressive pressing from them. Denise was getting, you know, roughed around the place, you know, that's what you want from them. They showed a lot more intent at the start of this game than they did, and they were a bit shell-shocked in the away leg. They haven't been like that. They've been disciplined, and they have caused some problems. I think Kreziman has found a little bit of space down that left-hand side, and we just need to be wary of it. Fortunately, they haven't really led to too many clear-cut chances, and we've dealt with them for the most part. There was just one big chance for Payor that we'll see coming up, and that's all it takes. And that chance happened right before Emily Murphy hit the crossbar as well. That's when the game kind of sparked into life. But again, you just see them swarming our defenders in those advanced areas, which we didn't see from them. And we've been forced into rush clearances the odd time. The crucial thing is that it's still a clean sheet. And Poland are going to have to come out again, and hopefully that'll leave spaces for us. We would put your house on Payor finishing that one, but yeah, definitely a different performance from Poland, and we need to keep our discipline in the second half.
Yeah, and I think we know as well that Payor has a big moment in her. They always seem to come, so we'll have to keep an eye on her in that second half. It is a huge one, and it is to come here at the Aviva Stadium. Stay with us.
Sky.
In just 8 days' time, Katie McCabe's Arsenal take on OL Lyon in the first leg of their Champions League semi-final, and it's live on RT1 and on the Player from 3 o'clock. Now back to matters here at the Aviva Stadium. I'm very positive the team are 1-0 ahead, but a huge second half needed. They've created some chances, but probably could have created a few more.
Yeah, I think that they'll be disappointed that they haven't peppered the goal a bit more. We pointed out that the goalkeeper maybe wasn't brilliant last week. So there's been a couple of chances, a couple of bright sparks, and like Steph said before, they're coming from those balls down wide areas. Carusa working really hard, and this was a huge one for Emily Murphy. In her form, we would have expected her to rattle the back of the net with that, but she was on the front foot again. She's getting herself in great positions, and hopefully it'll open up a little bit more for her in the second half, but she's working really hard. She'll be tiring out that defence, and here's just another example of it. She's done this countless times, and Sheva running beyond her, it's becoming a really big pattern. It allows Katie to get off the pitch, and that's a good ball in. The keeper actually does really, really well here, and a great clearance off the line from Mannion's follow-up header.
We can see, Steph, just from sitting so close to Denise O'Sullivan, how much of an impact that she has, how much of an important player she is. Picked up that yellow though.
I know, it's disappointing for her, especially that game in Cork now as well, but look, I'm sure she won't be thinking about that right now. I think Katie could be close to as well, so we might want to lose her too, so it's making sure that we keep our best players available for those next games, but for now let's see this one through.
Yeah, no, it's very much keep a clean sheet, Karen, isn't it? We've seen lapses in concentration in the past. We don't want to see them again.
No, and I think that will be Carla Ward's message at half-time. Clean sheet gets us where we want to be, and we haven't kept one despite the positive performances, so the back line will take a lot of pride from that if they can carry this through.
How worried are you about Payor and just the fact that she does have that big moment in her?
Yeah, look, I think for Ireland it's just trying to keep the ball. I think we talked about Poland's shape. I think it's can we play around them, can we play through them, and just limit them kind of winning that ball back and getting that ball to Payor is going to be the job now in the second half.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, let's rejoin our commentary team now, Rihanna and Des.
Yeah, thank you, Marie. Welcome back. Poland going to make a change at half-time. It's Gabriela Grybauska, who we saw come off the bench on Tuesday. Just looking around, it might be Achinska who's gone. We'll confirm that now in a moment. Did pick up that knock late in the first half. And yes, it is Adriana Chinska, who's been unable to reappear for the second. So the 23-year-old who left home for football in France this season with Dijon on for her 9th senior cap. Chinska, an important presence in that midfield. Grabowska has big shoes to fill here, and of course Poland a goal to chase. Carla Ward happy to go with how she started, no surprise in that. Ireland with the half-time lead, courtesy of that late goal in the first half from Marissa Sheva. And Ireland left to right in the second half, get us going again. And a Patten out to Aoife Mannion. Connolly available on her inside. Mannion again. Ireland finding some decent passes early on. O'Sullivan checks back under pressure. And on the back it seemed from Wiankowska. On we go, and Payor racing here against Caitlin Hayes, who was put to the pin of her collar.
Yeah, it was an important tackle there. It was a similar position to on Tuesday night where she scored from, where that ball bounced over Anna Patten's head. So really good recovery from Caitlin Hayes there.
Well, the additions of Caitlin Hayes and Anna Patten in the last couple of years, so important, with the likes of Nia Fahy, Louise Quinn, Diane Caldwell coming to the ends of their international careers.
Yeah, they've come in at a vital time. As you said, 3 stalwarts that we've lost over the last couple of years, and they've made their place and they've taken their place.
Evelina Kamczyk take this in-swinging corner. An awful lot of traffic around Courtney Brosnan here. Ball Jans on the 6-yard, where it's headed away by Hayes. Zienowicz. Now the first touch for Grabowska. Not a bad ball in, headed away by Mannion. And O'Sullivan there. The stud's length quicker than Kamczyk.
Yeah, you can see Kamczyk just lining up for the strike there. Vital touch from Denise O'Sullivan, and a nice bit of skill just to pop it over.
Win on Tuesday, incidentally, moved Ireland up to their joint highest ever world ranking of 22nd. Strength from Mannion to see it dead under pressure from Nadia Kresman.
Yeah, Aoife Mannion's another player that's come into that back line, that's made that position her own. She was very unlucky to miss out on the World Cup through injury, so she'll be hoping that we'll be successful in this campaign and she'll be able to put her stamp on things next summer.
And those 3 mentioned, Mannion, Patten and Hayes, coming in as experienced players, certainly at club level. Aoife Mannion had an underage career with England. There goes Emily Murphy, quicker than Dudek. Oh, looked to go first time there for Carusa. But for Voss, that might have been an early second half chance for Ireland.
Yeah, it was a great ball in behind from Denise O'Sullivan. You could see the spin there from Emily Murphy, and she'd be very disappointed actually with the execution of that pass. Kyra Carusa was free in the centre, and she would have fancied herself in that situation.
She brings that natural confidence for someone that young, Emily Murphy, having been in the Chelsea Academy before heading off to an extensive US college career. Likely would have had a few more caps as well, but for her educational commitments. But making her presence felt now.
Yeah, you can see how she moves, how she talks, and how she talks about the game, that she does have that she oozes confidence, but I think that she's brought a lot of maturity in the last 12 months since she's been kind of in that starting position and made that one of those front 2 positions her own.
Huge 45 minutes this for Carla Ward. A win here, on to 6 points. Poland well in the distance then, and just 2 games to go in June. Mannion back to O'Sullivan. Feels the pressure coming from Kamczyk. Protects the ball. Mannion with the cross. Headed away from the penalty spot. It'll fall. Oh, great effort from Megan Connolly. Batted away by Kinga Shemik. Caught that beautifully.
Yeah, she had a great starting position there to pick up the ball that landed towards the edge of the box. She does very well to keep her strike down. Probably needed a little bit more venom in her to take it past the goalkeeper from there.
Well, stemming off good work down this right-hand side from Aoife Mannion and Denise O'Sullivan. Seeing a lot of what the The two midfielders either side of Megan Connolly are offering these days with Carla Ward those little triangles out in the wings with their full-backs. And Emily Murphy drifting left as well, sometimes Carusa right.
Yeah, and that's the importance of allowing our fullbacks to get wider and get higher, to be able to make use of those positions and those spaces, and that allows the midfield to come into the game in those little triangles as well.
Voss not tempted by that long raking ball this time. Dudek into midfield. Raboshka. Nice take and turn from Tanya Pavelek. Kreseman. No way beyond Mannion. Now Carusa will always occupy centre halves with that physical nature of her game, her relentless movement.
Yeah, she's very smart with her body positioning, how she manipulates the ball with a defender around her, and she never gives up that pressure on them.
Tangling here with Wiankowska, who revel in the physical side of the game. Patten, neatly done. Poland again adopting the tactic of not engaging the three Ireland centre-backs. Might come a point when they'll have to later in the game if they're still behind.
Yeah, obviously the longer it goes into this half, if it's still 1-0, they'll have to go and put a little bit more pressure, but at the minute they're comfortable, they're happy to stay in their block.
Sheva's gone again here, and keeping Olivia Voss honest.
Yeah, it was a nice ball around the corner, just into that space from Katie McCabe.
McCabe goes into the feet of Murphy. Sheva, angle of the penalty area, ball around the back. Not too deep for the late arriving O'Sullivan.
It's one of them where she's probably in two minds. Is it a shot? Is it a cross? Is she looking for Carusa, or is she looking to just bend it into that back post? Just a little bit too high for Carusa and O'Sullivan on that instance.
Dudek demands it off her goalkeeper. Voss and Kamchik available on the inside. Went again for that long ball though, all the way out to Kreseman. Carusa muscled off it by Dudek, and a little bit of afters there between the pair. Kreseman felled. And see Aoife Mannion, who was run out by Kreseman a few times in the first half, wants to get tight on her as quickly as possible.
Yeah, she doesn't want to allow her to turn. She doesn't want to allow her to create space and get around her. I think she managed her well kind of the first 5 minutes of the second half, but a little bit sloppy there.
Kamchik and Wiankowska over the set piece. The former to put it in, not the greatest of balls, clear to the edge. Tomasiak lays it back. Zienovits. A ball there that she could have done something with. And Raboshka. Zienovits and Tomasiak. Dudek dropping back in, Voss holds on. Zienovits. Tomasiak looking for that big switch, and Mannion cushions it back to Brosnan.
Yeah, very comfortable for Mannion in the end.
McCabe. A little bit of space down the side here for Carusa. Sheva. And the pass to Murphy, read by Pavelek. But Ireland working to win it back and get it back.
Yeah, Sheva probably made it just a little bit too predictable there. Polish defenders could see what she was trying to do, see that she wanted to drop the ball back to Murphy, where she probably could have taken a touch herself and it might have opened up for a strike.
Game just going through a little bit of a scrappy period now. McCabe. Clearance by Pavelek, Mannion, and now O'Sullivan. Finds a little trick on the edge. Uses her body superbly. Denise O'Sullivan!
Oh my God! What a goal that would have been.
That would have been sensational. Ireland hit the crossbar for the second time in the game.
Oh my God.
And Denise O'Sullivan playing her own game down in that penalty area.
Oh, you said it. It was great to flick it over the head once, but to go back and do it again twice and still manage to get her strike off.
Well, that would have been special. Here is McCabe. Carusa not quite on the same wavelength. Letter for Poland, who were inches away from finding themselves 2 down. Good touch by Payor. Surrounded by a galaxy of stars at Barcelona. Kreisman. Mannion finds support in Patten. And for once the understanding and the pass from Wiankowska, not finding Kreisman. But this was almost so special from Denise O'Sullivan.
I think she does everything right there. I think the way she strikes it, power, height, she's just so unlucky. What a goal that would have been.
Carusa took that beautifully. And a ball out to O'Sullivan, who's got Sheva racing for the penalty area. Murphy goes as well, opens up that space for Sheva. Well, the offside flag goes up now. Voss wasn't to know. Really good sliding intervention. Sheva, in her eagerness, had just gone a yard too far.
Yeah, you can see she wanted it just that little bit earlier. O'Sullivan finally spots her, but the Polish defender does well to get back in and get that interception in as well.
O'Sullivan, she could see the run of Murphy was opening up that space to play that pass. Almost. Kamczyk for Pavelek. Voss and Dudek. Kamczyk shows for it again. Space at a premium for Poland in that midfield third, though.
Yeah, it's just opened up a little bit. Both teams were happy enough to sit in their defensive blocks just a few moments ago.
Which way will the next big moment go as we head towards the hour mark? Match day 4 of 6 for these two at the Aviva Stadium. Tanya Pavelek, Martina Wiankowska. Mustaki aware of what was going on behind her. Goal scored by Marissa Sheva first half, the 10th that Poland have conceded in the group. It tells its own story. Murphy rides the challenge of Pavelek. Mannion cutting on the inside, the ball out then to O'Sullivan. And Patten can put her foot in it. Mannion creeping stealthily down this right-hand side. Carusa looking to use that strength against Dudek, who is as strong and comes out on top in that battle.
A bit silly from Carusa to give away that free kick, but you could see the experience in Dudek, just getting her body between the ball and Carusa, just ushering her out of the way. It's been a good battle between the two of them.
Lost a chunk of the season at club level with PSG. Dudek to a metatarsal injury.
I've had one of them myself. They're not fun.
You've had a bit of everything.
It was
I think,
actually against. It was actually against Poland a number of years ago that I fractured my fifth metatarsal. I've had one too many injuries.
Yeah, we were chatting earlier about how you came out of your career. Not too bad, all things considered.
All things considered.
Voss. Super ball that out to Tomasiak Payor. Seemed to be grabbed by Caitlin Hayes, and the referee's going to give it.
Yeah, I was going to say she would have been very fortunate to get away with that. It was as clear as day from up here. She's not happy with the decision. Maybe it was the other way around, actually, Des. Maybe Payor was pulling out of her.
Well, not a change forthcoming for Poland. More on that and on as they concentrate on this potential route to a leveller here first, just past the hour mark. Veronika Zawistovska will be the one to come in. Same setup from Poland. Straight line of 5. Deep behind the last Ireland defender, Anna Patten. Now they're on the move, expecting that Irish defence to drop. And the ball in, watched all the way by Courtney Brosnan.
Yeah, it was an easy one in the end, but can be quite difficult sometimes with players running across the eye line of the goalkeeper.
Jankowska at the foot of O'Sullivan High. Play goes on though. Zienowicz. Jankowska short this time. Kresiman has movement on her inside. Poor ball though. Intended target Pavelek. Oh, what a touch from Denise O'Sullivan. And then the nutmeg. And if Zienowicz escapes here without a yellow card, she'll have done well. Or sorry, Jankowska rather.
We spoke about confidence earlier about Emily Murphy, but Denise has grown in confidence in this game. Nice bit of skill there, a great touch, and the audacity to just flick it through her legs.
Just plucked it out of the sky. Zawistovska.
Class is permanent, Des.
Cap number 131, she's only 3 off Emma Byrne now.
And there's plenty more life in her. I feel like Denise is one of those players that'll just go on forever and ever.
Choice for the Mannion throw in here. Murphy down the line. Oh, straight into the back. Far too obvious for Wiankowska, and I think that's certainly a case of tallying up quite a few fouls over the course of the hour we've had, rather than anything too sinister.
Yeah, she'd no intention of playing the ball there, and as you said, I don't think the yellow card was for just that foul. She got away with a couple in the first half, as you were saying earlier on.
As we said, she does things at full throttle, for good and for bad. Martina Wiankowska. Felled Emily Murphy heading back to halfway to take up that preventing the counter-attack job again. Now if Katie McCabe most likely can drop this into that vacated area between goalkeeper and a collapsing defence, this could cause problems.
Yeah, you'd be looking for Hayes to get her head on this. As we spoke about earlier, she's fantastic in the air in both boxes.
Ireland looking for a 2-goal cushion here. McCabe, it's an inviting ball in. Oh, and Hayes was in the thick of it. Just a little block in her header though, so the goalkeeper could claim.
Yeah, the deflection took the sting out of it, and the keeper was thankful on that.
And there's Carusa's honesty of effort again. Doing the hard work, closing down. The change is made. Kresiman, who had some bright moments, particularly in that first half, goes off. And Veronika Zawistowska of FC Köln in Germany comes on. 10 goals in what is now just one cap shy of the 50. And she has just taken up that station down the attacking left-hand side for Poland. Ireland see a chance to go quickly with the throw in. Carusa. Held up by Zienovic. Sheva. Backed up by Mustaki. Sheva checks back out to get herself onside and put a brilliant ball in, fizzed it in low.
Yeah, it was a nice ball into a dangerous area. See a nice bit of movement from here, just ushered around the corner from McCabe. Don't think Carusa was anticipating the ball to come in that early. She was caught a little bit flat-footed.
You'd love to see the Sheva stats for ground covered after this game.
It's something she does every game. Her and Denise O'Sullivan in those midfield three. It's the reason why we can play those three in midfield, the amount of distance that the two of them cover.
At the moment, Sheva and McCabe both loitering just outside the Poland penalty area. Inga Shemik. Denise O'Sullivan almost on her toes. O'Sullivan vacates that area now. Here's the ball in. He's attacking it with real purpose again. Just had to try and work herself around it.
Yeah, she probably just gets too much on the ball. It was a great delivery from Megan Connolly. She does very well to get away from her marker, but there was 2 or 3 Polish defenders in the way in the end.
Just a little over a quarter this one to go. Zawistowska has turned into Mannion here. Move to Newcastle has certainly worked out very, very well for Aoife Mannion. She's played in every game for a club that is looking to be upwardly mobile. Some successful days at Manchester United, Aoife Mannion.
Yeah, I think it was vital for her to go and get consistent minutes and to be playing week in, week out, and obviously Ireland only benefit from that as well.
Her job at the moment. Oh, she's left a leg in there. Big shot from Poland, Zawistowska.
Yeah, the referee was having none of that straight on. We'll get a better look at it here. She's fortunate there, Des, I think, very fortunate. I can see why the Polish fans weren't happy.
There's no contact on the ball, certainly contact on the knee of the recently arrived Zawistowska.
She's quite high in the contact there as well. I think Ireland get away with one.
No VAR. And Aoife Mannion in Ireland breathing a sigh of relief at that. Kyra Carusa's down as play goes on here. Touch from Payor. Almost had Graboshka through, and who's back there defending? Marissa Sheva.
Carla Ward's not happy there at all. Kyra Carusa seems to be down with a head injury. I think the referee should have stopped that play earlier on.
So Poland looking to crank up the tempo and the intensity here. Katie McCabe in an argument with the referee here of the treatment dished out to Kyra Carusa.
Yeah, the last thing we need now is Katie getting a yellow card. Denise just ushers her away, sends her in the opposite direction. I think it's the bounce of the ball. Kind of hit her once or twice.
I don't think there's any fault there really with Paulina Dudek.
No, but I don't know if it's precaution, but she looks to be struggling a little bit. She's not one to stay down, Kyra Carusa, usually.
Amber Barrett, Saoirse Noonan, Leanne Kernan, Abby Larkin we saw start up front on Tuesday. Options there if needed.
Plenty of options. I think Saoirse Noonan's probably the one that offers you similar to how Kyra Carusa plays, but you've seen, obviously, as you said, that Abby got the nod on Tuesday when Carusa was missing, and Amber seems to be the one to come off the bench more often than not.
Chance for Carusa just to take a little breather.
Do you know what? It's no harm from an Irish perspective either. Kind of take the sting out of it. Obviously, the Polish weren't too happy with that penalty claim there.
Abby Larkin getting some instruction from the Ireland assistant manager, Gary Cronin. Things didn't really fall her way as a starter earlier in the week. But we know what impact she can make, Abby Larkin, having a great season at club level with Crystal Palace.
Yeah, she was instrumental in that playoff against Belgium, so we'll be hoping that we can see her club form come into fruition now in these last 20 minutes.
Oh, she'd love to nick a goal here.
How we'd love to see her nick a goal here. I was actually sitting beside her uncle in one of the games out in Australia, out in Perth. They just love football and they love Abby.
So they are going to make that change. Or are they? Carusa's still out there. Well, at least on the touchline. Payor hasn't really had that side of goal in the second half that she would be hoping for.
And Ireland will hope that it will continue to be the case. But she showed it in the first game. All she needs is one sight of goal and her quality shines through.
And just a goal in arrears. And Sullivan keeps the ball alive and sets up Patten to clear forward towards Carusa. Back in the battle again with Dudek. And Sullivan, Murphy peeling away to this near side to give her a ball to play. And then a tug on the jersey. Oh, and Emily Murphy, that will be her out of the next game as well. A needless foul, a tug on the jersey of Dudek.
It's very silly. There's no need for it. She's not going anywhere. You know, any sign of a pull on the jersey, it's going to be an automatic yellow card.
Well, Ireland will make the change now. Abby Larkin for Kyra Carusa. Very much a local girl, Abby Larkin, to the Aviva Stadium. We're just digesting that now, that two of Ireland's most influential performers, Denise O'Sullivan and of late Emily Murphy, will be suspended for the game down in Cork against the Dutch.
Yeah, it makes it even more important that we come out of this game with 3 points.
Jankowska forward. Solid header away by Hayes. Zakostowska has won the corner off Patten. Evelina Kamczyk across to take again. A couple of short options there for her. The real heavy hitters clustered just outside the penalty spot. And on the move now, Voss towards the near post, gone beyond her. Decisive goalkeeping from Brosnan, who took a real clatter in coming to that one. Brave goalkeeping. She's gone down now, no surprise. It was heavy contact.
Yeah, she took a bit of a hit. Probably not the cleanest of punches, but she gets it out of the area. Katie's waving on the medical staff here. I think Courtney could be in a little bit of an issue.
And we had Dudek flying in here. And Brosnan, when your hands are up, you're exposed. And she bore the brunt of that contact.
Yeah, she done well to stay on her feet as well, Des, until the ball was cleared and it was out of danger.
Grace Maloney and Sophie Whitehouse, the two backup goalkeepers. Maloney, who we saw in action in the playoffs against Belgium when Courtney Brosnan missed a few months of the season with a knee injury.
Yeah, Maloney gave a good account of herself in those two games, but we'll be hoping that this is just precaution more so than anything else for Brosnan, and that she'll be okay to continue.
And just thinking back to that yellow card for Emily Murphy, as a player, you're likely well aware going into a game that you're, in danger of missing the following game with a card, but in the moment, obviously it's an instinctive reaction from her there to not allow Dudek to get away.
Yeah, obviously before the game you're well aware, but things move so fast in the game, it's instinctive. She is that type of player, She doesn't shy away from the physicality. but probably just a little bit of naivety on her side. She still is so young, and especially in terms of international football, so she'll be kicking herself, but obviously still a job to do for the next 15 minutes before this game is done.
As you said, first things first, all about seeing this one through to a hugely valuable victory. Few stoppages in the second half as well, likely to have a decent bit of added time. A crowd of over 18,000 in for this Aviva affair. I imagine quite a few of them will be heading down to Cork come June against the Netherlands. And a fantastic victory down there, of course, against Slovenia, when it was the local girl, Saoirse Noonan, who got the winning goal then.
Yeah, there's been some great results down in Cork. Obviously, the first one down there was that France game at the end of the last qualifying campaign, where we managed to get that famous victory. Julianne Russell stealing the show back then.
And a hometown goal for Denise O'Sullivan as well. And O'Sullivan here beaten to the ball by Wiankowska. O'Sullivan on it now, straight away looks for Murphy. The fresh legs of Abby Larkin ahead. She's timed her run beautifully to ease in behind Dudek. Has to hold on and wait for support to arrive.
Yeah,
takes it back from Mannion.
She done well just to recognise that there was no one in support, that she was the highest player. Just allow the Ireland players to get higher, give that support and maintain possession.
Sullivan control under pressure. Dropped one over the head of Wiankowska, almost picking out Larkin. Oh, and Patten disappointed with herself there. The ball was onto O'Sullivan, just put too much on it.
Yeah, that's a shame, especially by Patten standing there. Just a simple 5-yard pass, just needed to usher it in front of Denise O'Sullivan for her to run onto.
A bit of head tennis here. Pavelek and Mannion. Sullivan again. Larkin. Ireland keeping it down this corner now. Sullivan wins the corner. Again, those little three-player triangles. Mannion, Larkin, O'Sullivan this time.
Yeah, they've definitely been working on it. I think for the majority of this second half, we've been seeing Denise popping up in this wide right kind of a channel. Mannion coming up to support, and in this instance, Abby Larkin getting involved as well.
A huge ovation down the corner for Katie McCabe as she comes across to take this. Goals in all 3 games in the group so far.
And what a goal that was on Tuesday night as well.
Well capable of causing a problem here for the goalkeeper as well, with the quality of her delivery. Towards the back post in Hayes. Poland get 2 out to challenge with her. And Shemchik gets the play restarted quickly. Zienowicz launches one. Picked off, and a lovely subtle touch from Murphy, who works the 1-2 with Sheva. Murphy carrying the fight to Poland here. Zienowicz managed to force her to turn. Here's Connolly. Used her body well to fend off the close attentions of Ewelina Kamczyk. 12 minutes plus added time, a slender 1-goal lead. Murphy, for a moment, space on the edge. Connolly. Mannion. Sullivan makes herself available again. Here comes the ball in. Murphy trying to get across Voss, which she managed to do, but couldn't make contact.
That was a nice ball. I was actually thinking she was going to hit it when she got the ball on the turn there. Thought she was going to strike it herself.
Another change. Patricia Sarapota, one of the home base players, about to come on for Poland. And she is going to replace the vice captain, Ewelina Kamczyk. On paper, a more attacking change this, as she goes up in support of Eva Pajor.
Yeah, they have to go for it now if they want to get anything out of this game.
Almost 10 years, the younger of Kamchik as well. Another young player making her way in the game, but young fresh legs in, and she's looking to challenge here against Patten. Connolly turns it on to O'Sullivan. Pavelek. Looking for a big switch out to that far side, and Tomasiak. McCabe feeling she was unfairly dealt with. Murphy knocked off it this time. Sheva racing. Grabowska. Picked off by Sheva. Here is Larkin. And turned back into pressure. Won the free kick. Foul by Sarapota. The travelling support, or those Polish supporters based more locally here, doing their best to lift their side here. And 2 defeats to Ireland in a week would be seriously damaging in terms of their prospects of finishing in that 3rd position.
Especially the way they started their campaign with that draw against the Dutch.
Here is Sheva. Murphy, relentless movement for those two, and another corner one. Like you wind them up and let them go, because once they're out there they do not stop. Sheva and Murphy,
full of energy, full of enthusiasm, the two of them,
and the talent to go with it, and the big moments to go with it as well. We've seen plenty from Emily Murphy, and again a goal today for Marissa Sheva. Same setup on the corner, and Sullivan steps out from the pack. Good looking delivery, that puts the goalkeeper under pressure, but she dealt with it well, Sevcik. Larkin. It's a free kick. Ireland 8 minutes plus whatever is added from a clean sheet and another victory. You just feel with this Irish side these days, if they can keep clean sheets, I think you've got to go back to, in terms of a competitive game, that shocker away to Slovenia and Koper, the 4-0, the last time they failed to score a goal in a competitive game.
Yeah, you can see they've got goals throughout the team. Obviously we spoke about Caitlin Hayes as well, capable to step up at once from set pieces.
Payor. Dangerous movement again, almost through a gap. Wiankowska and Zawistowska cutting her heels.
Going back to that, what I was leading to is that we're no longer relying on set pieces. We've got the likes of Denise O'Sullivan and Katie McCabe, who have always come up with goals, but now we've got Emily Murphy, Marissa Sheva, and obviously Kyra Carusa, who I believe has 12 goals. We've got Amber Barrett, who can also come off the bench, and Saoirse Noonan that has a couple. So I think in terms of the Irish attack, we've got plenty of players out there that have an eye for goal and that are taking their chances in the recent games.
Polish fans not happy. Courtney Brosnan's down again. If that is going back to the head injury, that's something you have to be very aware of. But I think the Polish fans and maybe the referee is suggesting there might be something else going on here.
Yeah, I think they're trying to insinuate a little bit of time wasting. She's gone down holding her face again. We've seen earlier she did get quite a bang when she came out to punch that ball from their last corner.
And we've got Martina Wiankowska down here below us having an animated discussion with the 4th official. (1-0), never, ever, ever comfortable.
Not when they've got the likes of Aoife Mannion in their team. Someone with that class, this technique, all she needs is one chance. So you'd be hoping that for the next 6+ minutes that Ireland will be able to keep her as quiet as we've been able to keep her.
I have to say this backline has protected Courtney Brosnan really well today, though. Think of how many times she's been called into serious action.
Yeah, she's had very little to do so far. A couple of shots from distance, maybe one or two that have come into her clubs nice and easily. It's the type of game that a goalkeeper wants, really, isn't it?
Header on by Tomasiak. Here's Pavelek. Heavy touch, though, gives O'Sullivan her chance. She's been a standout performer today, Denise O'Sullivan. And now O'Sullivan has limped away with an injury, and Connolly's gone into a 50-50 with Sarah Patten. On point with all three players down there. There has been a physical edge over the two games. Two sides wholly committed. Patten. Lovely little show of the ball, and scoops it forward for Murphy. Bit early maybe for the corner flag, but Ireland where they want to be. Great skills from Murphy, little roll with the studs.
Yeah, she just got the instructions from Abby Larkin just to turn back and keep the ball on the right-hand side of the pitch.
Tender in years, but an experienced head on her, Emily Murphy. I'm concerned here now for Denise O'Sullivan, which well, Liverpool fans might be looking anxiously at. Hopefully just a contact injury, nothing too sinister.
Yeah, from the replay of the tackle, it just seemed to be contact, maybe just the top of her shin.
Look at the size of that shin guard. That's not protecting much, is it?
I won't comment on that.
Can someone secure a more adult-sized shin guard for Denise O'Sullivan, please?
Be sure to pass that message on to her, Des.
Murphy down in the corner again. The frustrations will grow for Poland, and Wiankowska, who knows she can't afford a foul. Murphy's eating up some valuable seconds here. I think it is a Poland throw-in.
Murphy's not happy with that decision at all. Either is the crowd, by the sounds of things.
And then Wiankowska showed to retreat and take the throw-in from the right place. 2 steps back and 3 steps forward.
Yeah, she was clever. She tried to steal about 15 yards there.
One of the phrases we had on Tuesday was game management. And that's what it's about now for Ireland in the minutes that remain. Making the right decisions.
Absolutely, they've played this game out very well so far. It's an important 5 or 6 minutes, depending on how much is added on.
Tomasiak. Oh, Patten and Hayes came together. Unfortunate in the end, there was no real purchase on the shot from Pio. A collision between the two Ireland centre halves presented her with the chance. And what a big chance it was.
Yeah, Steph and Karen spoke about that earlier on in the studio, about we need more communication between our back three, and the one player that the Polish would have hoped that the ball would have fell for was Pajor there, so I think Ireland got away lightly.
And sometimes you'd think better two going for it than both leaving it, but the ball just fell so kindly for Pajor on her left foot. Didn't catch it cleanly.
Yeah, she probably couldn't believe it. But from an Ireland perspective, we can't afford for that to happen again.
Veronika Erasniewicz, the 18-year-old on the books at Barcelona, currently on loan in Germany with Wolfsburg, will be the next one in. With instructions to try and come up with something in added time.
It's not a bad feat for an 18-year-old at all, is it? On the books at Barcelona, on loan at Wolfsburg.
We're also going to see Tyler Toland in for Ireland. Meanwhile, it's Pavelek. Grabowska opted not to pull the trigger. Tomasiak, he wanted back on that left foot. Tried to pick Grabowska on the edge, and Marissa Sheva has come up with some important defensive moments back in her own penalty area second half.
Yeah, she picked up a great position in there just to cover the inside of Katie McCabe.
Substitution for Poland.
Well, that was Tomasiak's last action. So Erasniewicz, who Scored against Ireland in the under-19 European qualifiers back in November. Is on here for just her second senior cap, having debuted off the bench in Dijon. Lots of young players coming through the ranks. And they'll take a goal from anyone. A rookie or an experienced campaigner. Defeat here, and they will be staring down the barrel. Sarah Patten. Savitstovska holding on, and Sarah Patten with the crossing chance. Bouncing away off Patten, at least 8 minutes to be added on.
Yeah, we knew there was going to be a lot of time. There was a couple of stoppages, obviously Brosnan down twice, Carusa down another time.
Pyer on the move. Back to Wiankowska. Throwing towards Sarah Patten, who's won another corner. Ireland need that concentration, that discipline, that defensive focus now.
Yeah, we can't afford for Poland to pile the pressure on for the next 8 minutes.
Kamczyk off the pitch, they'll need to change the corner taker. So across comes Martina Wiankowska, who's been in the thick of it again today for Poland. Outswinger this time. Pyer in and around Brosnan. Steps away from her now. Good delivery, great defensive header. I think it was Hayes again. Mustaki out against Rasnivitz. Quick feet from the teenager. Mustaki bided her time though. Clearance falls to Grabowska.
Yeah, Mustaki done well there. She just kept her eyes on the ball at all times.
Sheva there once more. We'll get your player of the match in a few moments. Rihanna, a few to ponder on there, I'm sure. Seagulls starting to circle at the Aviva Stadium. I think they always sense when a game's coming to the end. Sarah Patten. Pyer dropping out of the penalty area this time to be involved in the build-up play. Rasnivitz to the edge. Pavalek looking to set up Grabowska. Wasn't quite there for her to shoot. Dudek. That's a wasteful ball from someone so experienced.
Yeah, Ireland will be happy with that. Brosnan's just getting them back up the pitch now.
Two and a half of the 8 have elapsed. Launch forward by Dudek. Returned by Caitlin Hayes. Dudek again. This is going to be Hayes again. Up against Pyer. Sarah Patten. A little shove on Megan Connolly. And with this little break in play now, we get your player of the match, Rihanna.
Yeah, so there's been some good performances out there. I think Kyra Carusa done well before she went off, but I think Denise O'Sullivan definitely the player of the match. She's shown her quality, her class, that little bit of skill that we seen earlier on in the second half. Very unlucky not to get a goal, so Denise O'Sullivan is my player of the match, guys.
Superb outing on cap number 131. Just 3 off the national record now. It's going to be a yellow card, I think, here for Carla Ward. Obviously on the advice of the 4th official. Maybe for advancing outside of her technical area. Which manager doesn't? Murphy. Well, how good is that when you're trying to defend a 1-0 lead into injury time? That willingness to run into those channels to hold up that ball.
Yeah, it's exactly what you want from your centre forward. She's strong, she's physical, and she doesn't mind the physicality from the defenders either.
And she'd have to settle for 3 player of the matches out of 4.
I'm sure as long as Ireland get the 3 points here, she won't mind at all. Should
be the goalkeepers, taken by Kinga Shemik. No time to waste for Poland now. O'Sullivan thought she could nick that one. Off goes Wiankowska. And there's the pace of Abby Larkin. And the calmness of Ireland in possession again.
Yeah, brilliant from Abby Larkin there. She noticed that Denise O'Sullivan needed a little bit of help. Abby had gone from being the one to contest the ball with the goalkeeper, running all the way back into her own half to win the ball back.
And Larkin and Murphy again hunting it down. Not allowing Poland an easy ball forward. Just breaking that Polish spirit. They've come and had a go. Carla Ward's going to get herself sent off here. She's not careful.
She won't mind. Wasted a few more seconds.
Hayes again, eyes on the ball all the way. Pavelek works the little 1-2. Connolly, that's broken for Pajor. Zawistowska. And one more corner perhaps. Dudek and Voss already on the way and into the penalty area. Already seen Caitlin Hayes just a few moments ago with a brilliant backpedaling defensive header.
Hopefully we'll see the same
in that free position, isn't she, to attack this ball when it comes. Centre half's about to converge on her. It's away from her this time. And Mannion anywhere will do. He's the player of the match, Denise O'Sullivan. Again in the eye line of Grabowska. Here's the Razniewicz. Shown some flashes in the little bit of time she's been on. Mustaki to clear this time. Grabowska out to this left-hand side, Dudek. Zienowicz. They've left Voss up front now. 6 foot plus centre half. And they find a ball to hit her though, it's gone over her head. And she won't get on the second ball either.
No, it fell nicely for Courtney Brosnan there. Just took the sting out of the header completely.
Now that touch from Sarah Patten has found Abby Larkin. She's got to check back out here, doesn't she? And she does to O'Sullivan. Inside the last minute of the 8 to be added. Denise O'Sullivan forced into the corner. Poland pinned in the corner here. They've the length of the field to go. A home game on Tuesday. They expected to come through. Beaten by the odd goal in 5. What was a terrific Irish performance on the road. Well, this one hasn't been as thrill-a-minute or goal-laden. But a win is a win, and Ireland on the cusp here now. Well watched by Mannion. All eyes on the referee, Abby Larkin. Murphy has no more to give.
Yeah, you probably would have liked that the other way around with Murphy feeding Larkin, who's the fresher of the two. But as you said, Des, Ireland won't mind.
And there it is, the final whistle. A terrific 5-day period. 2 fixtures that were key for Carla Ward, and her side's ambitions have yielded the maximum 6 points. And dreams of a summer in Brazil a little bit closer. 2 games left before the playoff picture becomes clear, with the Dutch to come in Cork and a group rounded off with a trip to France. But a 1-0 win will be so pleasing to the Ireland management. The goal from Marissa Sheva late in the first half, and a clean sheet to boot.
Yeah, it's been a great window for Ireland. 2 wins from 2, 6 points. Each game needed something different, and I think we've seen that today. We defended very well, took our moment when it came at the end of the first half, and defended well again in the second half. So clean sheet, 1 goal, that's all we needed.
And when the draw was made, we wondered how this group would pan out for Ireland. Each game I think that they've played now has been decided by a goal. They've been in every game. came up short against the big two in the group in France and the Netherlands, but crucially have won these two now home and away against Poland.
Yeah, as you said, they just came up short in the opening two games, but they took a lot of confidence and a lot of good stuff to take from that game. And I think we've seen that in these two windows. They've improved where they needed to improve, especially attacking in that first game. But I think defensively today, they gave Poland very little. Aoife Mannion had that left-footed shot that fell to her nicely in the box with the miscommunication between Megan Connolly and one of the Ireland centre-backs. But they'll be absolutely delighted with that clean sheet. Hopefully we can build on that. If we bring a clean sheet into our next game, who knows what can happen against one of those big two then as well.
And last time round, that World Cup qualification campaign that ended in such incredible fashion in Glasgow, it did so much to lift the women's game in Ireland, and the World Cup that came, the disappointment of not backing it up with the Euros. But this is a group very much in an upward curve. Two big challenges left before we know what comes at the end of the year. But it's back-to-back wins, 2 wins in 5 days for Carla Ward and the Republic of Ireland, and that table looking good for them now. Marie.
Thanks so much, Des and Rihanna. Yeah, great celebrations here pitch side. You can see what it means to the players to have got those back-to-back wins. It was what they were targeting, and they have very much achieved that and done so in style as well, as particularly keeping that clean sheet today, Karen.
Yeah, it was really professional second half performance. You know, again, created the better chances. We're in the ascendancy, but when we needed to defend, did that really well. A few times we had our heart in our mouths. Just looking at Aoife Mannion in shot there. But yeah, it's a huge 6 points, huge.
Yeah, so many great individual performances, but the collective, Steph, as well, which we don't always get. It was there today.
Yeah, it was brilliant, and I think to see the game out, I think we've been there in the past where we're holding on, but we actually looked quite comfortable throughout the game. As Karen mentioned, maybe that penalty that we got away with, I think that was a big moment in the game. I think Piora's chance in the box, that was pretty much it, wasn't it, really? We didn't have too much to deal with. I think overall, really good performance from Ireland over the last 2 games.
And Karen, there was a bit of a lull in the momentum around this team when they didn't qualify for the Euros, but you can sense it here, building again.
Yeah, building. That's what you get the feeling from the crowd that we're on our way somewhere special, and it's great. Look, like you say, enough players are playing at their peak now, like they're getting the best out of themselves in that Irish shirt, and that's all we care about. Game time and all that at club level is out the window because they are showing up in that Irish jersey.
Yeah, and as well as having a good collective, there's world-class players there, and we can see one of them, Katie McCabe, talking to the team there. She's the leader. You know, sometimes we're talking about the age that she's at and how long she's left, but she's the ultimate pro, you know, to flip that on its head. We have her for a lot of years yet, Steph.
Yeah, it's herself and Denise. We talk about it. We feel like they've been there forever. I think we still have a few more years left in them. But yeah, I think they're both 2 top players who've done so much for us over the last couple of seasons, or last couple of years, should I say. And today was no difference. Obviously, we're going to be missing a couple of crucial players in the next game. We're hoping Katie didn't get herself a yellow card, but she done well to stay out of that. But yeah, overall, Katie and Denise have been absolutely brilliant for us over the last number of years, and hopefully that can keep going now for a couple of years
more. They just
more.
set the standard, and they give the players around them something to aspire to be. Like they're playing with them, but you're looking towards them. They're the players you aspire to be, and to have 2 people like that in the dressing room at one time, we're actually very blessed, because we did see with Poland they seemed very dependent on Pior pulling something out of the bag with very little supply.
Yeah, it's actually quite interesting because you can see that the players are rising to the level of Katie and Denise around them, which isn't always the case and wasn't the case for Poland. Let's have a look at the table though, because the table isn't looking too bad now, that's for sure. 6 points is exactly what Carla Ward was hoping for. They are in 3rd spot. I'd mentioned at the start that France aren't too far away. The Netherlands aren't too far away either. Huge games to come against them. They of course have to play each other yet, but Poland will have to win their next 2 games if they want to overtake Ireland. But Karen, when you talk about what Carla Ward would have wanted from her team at the start of this window, that's it.
Yeah, at the start when the draw was made, I thought 6 points would be a phenomenal achievement. Anything else from here on out is bonus territory, and either way those are 2 brilliant games for us to get with an eye on that World Cup qualifier, because that's what it's all about.
And Steph, like the big aim and that in our half-time chat for Ireland was that they would see this game out, that they would manage it really well. There wouldn't be lapses in concentration. There was maybe one, that Poyer chance, but still they managed to get it done.
Yeah, and I think credit goes to the staff too, because we were talking about at half-time where the spaces might be for us to hurt Poland. I think you can see Denise O'Sullivan find herself in those wide areas and be able to get on the ball, and we done well in not playing into their traps as much as we did in the first half. So a lot of good play in that second half to make sure we didn't give them opportunities.
Yeah, and look, Poland got that one chance, and it was the one person we didn't want it to fall to. Luckily, it went on her left leg, and she just swiped at it. And Courtney had a relatively comfortable day. She dealt really well with that corner where she got the head injury, and she used that to her advantage again, the dark arts. And like I say, that just adds to what was a very, very professional performance.
Okay, we're going to head to Tony now because he is with Denise O'Sullivan.
Thanks very much indeed, Marie. Yes, and Denise O'Sullivan is once again the Sky Ireland Player of the Match. You've taken it back off Emily Murphy. Louise O'Mahony from Sky is here to present you with your award. Congratulations. The most important thing, another 3 points on the road.
Yeah, absolutely so proud of the team tonight. We really wanted to go out and get those 3 points. Our goal coming into this camp was 6 points, and back-to-back wins. Very proud of the girls. They put in a really good performance. We knew Poland would come out and change something. They were a bit more aggressive with our full-backs, and they went a bit more tight in the midfield. Their winger came in and marked me, but all-around amazing performance, and really proud.
A very physical game as well. I guess you were expecting that too, but you took a lot of punishment.
Yeah, I did, and look, that's part of the game. I'm used to it. I like to get on the ball a lot, so I have to take some hits with that, but yeah, as I said, really, really proud of the girls tonight, and we can go and enjoy it now.
Marissa Sheva on the score sheet again for Ireland, and such an important goal.
Yeah, really important goal, and Maz has been class throughout this whole campaign. She always shows up in big moments, but yeah, as I said, going back to the team again, very, very proud.
I think I saw today, Denise, the best goal you've never scored. two flicks and then a shot against the crossbar. You must have thought that was going in. That would have been up there.
Yeah, I wish it went in, but look, it is what it is. The most important thing is 3 points. I do what I can for the team. I absolutely love playing for my country. It's the best thing ever, and for any young kids out there watching, if you want to play for Ireland someday, it will happen. Just work hard and chase your dream. I'll never get sick of it, wearing this badge, and yeah, look at here tonight at the Aviva. Everyone showed up for us. That's what Ireland's about. We stick together, and I think this group has something special.
Now the next game is in Cork, and you're going to miss it. The yellow card here. I mean, that looked like it could have gone the other way. The yellow card could have been given against the player who tackled you.
Yeah, look, I'm of course very disappointed not to be able to play in my hometown, but I look at the positives, and I'll go back to the win again here tonight, and I'm sure I'll be there supporting the girls in Cork, and yeah, I'm just really looking forward to the journey with this team.
It looks like almost certainly third place at least has been secured with these 2 really good results. But how much further can you go in this group, do you think?
Yeah, I think we have a lot more to give. I think this team has really, really improved. We're improving every single camp, and look, we're going to go into the Netherlands game. We're going to look for points out of that game, and also the France games, and we'll be looking to get points on the board. So we're really looking forward to the games.
Well done again.
Thank you. Thanks.
Steph, I didn't think that, or I thought maybe that your Puskas Award could have been been getting a run from its money with that Denise O'Sullivan chance.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been a bad player to compete with, was it? It was unbelievable. Really good with his skill. I think we were talking about it in pitch side. It was nearly a hospital pass from Mannion, but any player to deal with it, it's going to be Denise O'Sullivan. She's done so well. So unlucky for her not to go in.
And Karen, her performance all round was phenomenal this evening.
Yeah, she's the ultimate team player as well. Even in her interview, you're trying to give her a bit of praise. She brings it back to the team. Like, the passion for Ireland just emanates out of her. And again, the effect that has throughout the team, like, it just gives you energy. She is like it's a Duracell battery. She just keeps it going. She has it all, really. And just in those moments, she just keeps such a cool and calm head. Yeah, she's an all-rounder.
She's a real inspiration to any player I talk to. I go to schools, I go to the clubs. You ask me who their favourite player is, a lot of the time it's Denise O'Sullivan, and it's just it's probably because of the person she is as well. You hear the way she speaks. She's got such a good way about her. As much as the player she is, we know how world class she is and how good she's been for us over the years, but it's how she conducts herself, and here's the chance here.
The whole stadium was willing this in, because if anyone deserved a goal like that, it's Denise. She deserves all the headlines she got. Well deserved player of the match. Just for her all-round performance, the energy she brings, and God, it would have been great to have topped it off with the goal, but look, we'll just enjoy the replays anyway. And even that, the physicality that she brings for a short girl, like, she's one of the strongest players I've ever trained against. You know, her core strength is something else. You talked about Kate being the ultimate professional, and Steph said it there. She just has made herself into just a world-class player, and it's been through hard work and discipline, and she's the gold standard of what you should look up to and how you should train and apply yourself.
And Steph, the passion that she showed in that interview, you could hear how much it means to her to play for Ireland, but the work that she puts in as well, like she's dedicated her whole life to football.
Yeah, she's unbelievable. I think we could talk all day about Denise O'Sullivan in terms of her passion for her country, even the way she spoke there after in the interview with Tony. She's just the ultimate professional, and as I said, I think the biggest thing for most people is how good of a person she is. It's great to see someone who's such a nice person do so well, and Karen's touched on it. I think she's been brilliant to have the career she's had. She's obviously playing in England now at Liverpool, and she's made a big difference to them since going in there too. But the ultimate professional, and what a legend she's been for Ireland over the years.
Yeah, she'd deserve an old trip to Brazil for a World Cup, wouldn't she? We're going to take a very quick break. Stay with us though, loads more reaction and analysis to come.
Scott.
Now you're very welcome back. I'm delighted to say that Aoife Mannion has joined us at pitch side. Aoife, 2 wins. Was that the goal at the start of this window?
Yeah, that was the goal. We knew how massive these games were going to be. We knew that Poland are a really good team. They're more highly ranked than us. So we really had to put a massive shift in. And I think we were a little bit almost surprised how good we were in the first game. We knew it was going to be a different game today. They came out the blocks a bit better, and I think we really had to dig in, and I'm just so pleased that we've got the result over the line. So that's 2 wins, 2 games, 6 points in the group, and really sets us up nicely.
So what surprised you in that first game about how good you were?
I think that the Ireland teams are always really good at being resilient and defensively solid, and then that next piece is trying to keep the ball a bit better. And it just seemed to click in that Poland game. We really managed the ball well on both sides. It was really good. We were not surprised, but sometimes you come away and you realise you have to back yourself. But that said, we knew Poland were going to tighten up and they were going to give more energy today. So we knew it was going to be a different game, and it probably was.
Carla has always had great faith and belief in your ability to play football, to be comfortable in possession. Do you think that's helped with you? I know you said you clicked, but there's definitely a confidence there.
Yeah, massively. Carla wants to dominate without the ball, so keep that resilience. But then also she wants us to be braver on the ball, like be patient, be calm, not just kind of hoof it forward, if you like. And sometimes there's a time and place for that. And I think over the last couple of years we've been really good on the break, really good getting the ball forward quickly. But you have to have different ways to attack, especially against different teams. So this has probably been a bit of a missing piece. And we definitely did that in the last game, and we brought a little bit of that as well today.
That patience and that build-up play, it allows you to attack in phases and stuff and actually control your energy, and you're able to see out that game really well, really good discipline. So it benefits you all the way through the team, not just like possession-wise, energy-wise. Do you feel that?
Yeah, massively. I mean, it gives you a breather. You can get players up the pitch, you can take your time a little bit more, you can kind of try and create more quality chances. That said, there's always a time and a place to go forward quickly, and we don't want to lose that at all. But it's just about trying to add things into our game. And yeah, overall, I'm really pleased.
We've really enjoyed the consistency of selection and the consistency of the formation as well, but there's a bit of fluidity to it. And you're playing very much on the right wing back, and you are getting up and down the pitch. How are you enjoying that role?
Yeah, I'll play anywhere. I say this to anyone that asks. I'll play anywhere that I'm asked, and even if I'm not involved in the squad, I'll be the biggest fan. We know that Katie is like this bonus luxury player, that she can bring these moments of excellence any moment in any game. I think before this game she scored 3 in 3 games, and so for me I see my niche more of kind of maybe giving a bit more defensive balance and then kind of combining up the pitch as and when it's needed. And I'm really happy to try and play that role the best I can. I'm not a natural out-and-out winger, but sometimes I am finding myself in those spaces. And like Carla has tried to implement in us, it's just about being calm, combining, and trying to work quality chance into the box.
It's bravery as well, because you know you're not comfortable with it, but you're doing it, and you have that confidence in yourself to be able to get back when you need to. And also, even if there is a Eva Payor lurking around, you're still able to do it.
Yeah, I mean, we all put in such a shift, and we're all doing things that might be similar in some ways to club, but in some ways different. Even in this game today, we had 2 different formations. We went a little bit more defensive at the end, and when you tend to be able to keep the ball better, you can all push higher anyway. So sometimes I might look like a fullback, sometimes a wing-back, but the most important thing is that defensively we're solid, we put our chance away and we don't concede.
You said that the goal was 6 points from this window, but looking at the group, 6 points overall is good. Do you feel like the next 2 games are bonus territory, or is it, and take the pressure off, or is it we want to go and put pressure on ourselves to get results here?
I think coming into this campaign, these 2 matches were the biggest opportunities, and so to go and deliver on what we really wanted to do and get the 6 points is massive. And then you find yourself in territory where you think, oh, can we push for a bit more? So absolutely, we know what we did to France a couple of years ago, back in Cork, when we beat them. And we want to keep that energy. We think that if we can keep going with this vein of form that we're in, then who knows what can happen.
We know there's big moments in games. There was one in this game as well that you were involved in. I think all of our hearts were in our mouths because we thought that you were going to get pulled for a penalty, but you didn't. Has the heart rate come back down again?
Yeah, I mean, she was really tricky, that winger that got subbed on, and I thought I could win the ball, and I was too eager. And I got away. You know, the ref didn't give it, so as a defender I'm always going to say it's not a penalty, but those things have been given. And as soon as the moment passed, I was saying to everyone, careful getting too close to her. She is really tricky. And Patten just kind of nodded, and then a couple minutes later she was like, she is really tricky. You take your bit of your luck, but also we were really unlucky that Denise O'Sullivan didn't score that absolute, it would have been a worldy goal up the other end, where she'd like 1-2'd it over someone's head and then bulleted it, and it just missed. So, you know, rub of the green, sometimes you get unlucky, sometimes you get lucky, but definitely in that moment when it wasn't given as a penalty, I thought, that's my one today. I need to be.
I think we all seen it. I think we could see by your face as well. And as you said, we've touched on it before you came on here that we probably deserve that little bit of luck as well. That can be our bit of luck, thankfully.
Yeah.
You mentioned Denise as well, and just the fact that she's such an important player, and Emily too, to pick up those yellows. There'll be a lot more work on your guys' shoulders for the next game.
Yeah, I mean, it's disappointing that I feel like getting 2 yellows and then missing a game is really harsh. It's really tricky. So Emily and obviously Denise picked up their second yellow today, so they won't be in the first game in June. They've been massive players for us. I was saying to Emily at the end of the game, it was almost like she's had to have one game where she gives player of the match to someone else. She's had 3 in a row. And Denise is such a massive player. It's a shame for her that she's going to miss the game in Cork on home soil. 130 caps for her in the last game, and as players we've been saying to her, like, when are you going to stop, like what's
never
next?
She's not allowed.
She said that she would keep running until her legs would give way, and I think that just
There's no sign of that happening.
Yeah, if we could all get a little bit of that, I think as a team we'll be fine.
Aoife, thank you so much for coming in, and congratulations on today and those 6 points, so well deserved. We're going to hear now from Kyra Carusa.
Kyra, congratulations. What an important win for Ireland.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, important from a standpoint of where we are in the group, but also important just playing in the Aviva, playing at home. We want to make sure we're picking up all the points we can at home.
Tough game and a very physical game. We were worried about you at one stage. Are you okay?
Yeah. Thank you, Tony. I appreciate it. Yeah, no, doing well. But yeah, from a standpoint of overall, we understood, Poland is a fierce opponent, and especially coming into the second leg, we knew they were going to have to bring out something a little bit extra as well, and we anticipated that, and we took it well. We absorbed it and we gave it right back.
I think you took a lot of punishment.
Yeah, you could say a few of us definitely took a few knocks on the pitch, and I think the biggest thing though is that we stand behind each other so greatly, and like in every aspect we fight, and that almost brings more of a fight out of us. So, you know, if a team comes out like that on us, like we're not afraid of that.
You, I suppose, can claim an assist on Marissa Sheva's goal, and that's a crucial goal that gets to 3 points.
Yeah, I mean 100%. I mean, you want to be productive in front of the goal. We want to be making sure that every shot is on target. The goalkeeper gives up anything. I was just saying to you before, for Marissa, I mean, what an attacker's instinct to be following a shot on goal like that. And we hit the bar quite a few times in the game and had some really dicey moments. And to know that, maybe 9 out of 10 times that ball doesn't come to you, and then all of a sudden she's there sliding in on the back post. And I was happy to see that little 14 coming through the back post on that for sure.
You missed the game in Poland with a bit of an illness, but were you thinking now it's hard to get back into this team because the competition for places has become really high?
Yeah, I mean, it's great. I think the competitive atmosphere amongst us is huge, and yeah, unfortunate with the circumstances for the first game, but to know and look at this team and like look at the performance we gave out in that game. Like we want depth, we need depth. And for me as a competitor and as a player, like I want to see that, and I want to come out every day and know that I'm competing against that. I mean, if anything, you're sitting in the stands like wishing you had someone would just throw your boots to you and you could just, you know, have a few minutes at least, you know. So, but that's what we want, especially leading up through this campaign, leading up to next year. Like that's what we need, that's what we want, that's what we want to continue to foster.
We've seen the emergence of Emily Murphy over the last number of games. She, funny enough, didn't get the Player of the Match award tonight. Denise did, but she's got the last 3. And Abby Larkin did well in Poland, and when she came on again tonight.
Yeah, again, massive performances, and again, like building on each performance. And that's what I think, like with this team, is when you've seen our growth, is that you're really seeing that from, you know, younger players or even just players who can put those performances back to back consistencies. And again, for me, I love to see that. You want to make sure that you're continue to be one of those players, because again, we need every single one of us to get through all this.
You've already had one World Cup under your belt. Is it time to start thinking about Brazil next year?
Time? You don't think I've already been thinking about this? Tony, come on. You know me too well. No, of course. Like that's always discussed, and internally that is we understand what this means and what each match means and what we're building for and the purpose for all this, because again, like that's what makes this that much more special. That's what makes us that much more special, is knowing that we've been there before and we want to be there again.
Us too. It's all we're thinking about, heading off to Brazil for a World Cup. It would be lovely. It's remarkable, though, for Kyra Carusa to play so little minutes for her club, to be out of season, and to be able to put in a performance like that, Karen.
Yeah, she always looks like she has the bit between her teeth. She is a brilliant outlet. And the way we're playing now, like Aoife alluded to, we do have to go down the channels and go long sometimes, and she's brilliant at that. She keeps the ball, she brings players into the game when we need to, when we're not able to transition really quickly. So you just see examples of it here, and she got a few knocks and bumps and bruises today, but again, she's someone who can well stand up to that, and it was just pure endeavour that got her in this position to get that ball back to Denise and get that cross over, and we thought we were going to go 1-0 up there, but yeah, she shows that throughout every game, and it's amazing her fitness levels considering her lack of club game time. So I can only imagine if she was playing full-time what she would bring, but I've never seen her not give 100%, and yeah, always delivering.
Yeah, she's just a pure athlete, isn't she? I think we talked about her lack of game time, but she always seems to come in ready to play. And I think obviously we look at her as maybe a target player, but I think she's really good off the ball. But then when she does get the ball, she keeps it and she's able to feed off it instead of it just being a hopeless ball up, as we talked about previously. It would have been balls into the channels maybe to win a throw in, but she's usually winning the ball and being able to connect with the likes of Denise and Sheva. So she's been really good for us.
And getting back into those defensive positions. We see her and Murphy kind of dropping as 2 10s when we're out of possession. We saw it more so against France and the Netherlands, but yeah, they've really kind of like helped midfield, because we talked about how hard it is for them, and they help to fill those gaps as well. So they're working really hard up there.
Yeah, Carla Ward is certainly putting a team together. Let's get her thoughts now. She's with Tony.
Carla, congratulations. In one sense, it's mission accomplished because you've beaten Poland home and away. More to come, I'm sure.
Yeah, you've asked that 'cause you know me, right? We, of course, we want to keep building, don't we? I think I'm incredibly proud of this group, this camp, and I spoke to him this morning because it's always difficult to play the same opponent twice. But the work that's gone in the last couple of days since we've gone back, you know, we adapted to what we believed they might do, how we might have to adapt ourselves. And I said it the other day, but this group, honestly, they are an absolute joy to work with, first and foremost. And that tonight was a proper Irish performance, I would say.
Different, though. It had to be a lot more patient and towards the latter stages, a lot more professional. Those dark arts, you might call it, to make sure you saw the game out. A yellow card for you as well.
I don't know what you're talking about. No, yeah, the yellow card, I put my foot on the pitch. I think, that was... I didn't really understand it, but it is what it is. But yeah, look, we've talked a lot about different scenarios, different momentum changes, different shifts in the game, how we might cope with them, what we might do. And that was the most impressive thing. You know, the last 20 minutes, we've been conceding opportunities, and we wanted to make sure that didn't happen. So even in the last sort of 6 or 7 minutes, dropping Abby in to create a 5-4-1, just give us an extra body in the middle line. But look, I'm so proud of this group. I love this job. I love working with this group. And there's so much to come from them. There really is. And you can see all the time, you know, they're developing, we're growing, but consistent back-to-back performances is absolutely huge.
And a clean sheet as well. Before the goal, Emily Murphy hit the crossbar. Aoife Mannion had a header, so chances were being created, but by Poland as well.
Yeah, it was a different game. We knew it would be a different game, and we had to prepare in a very different way because we knew we were going to have to be patient. We knew we were going to have to defend spells, and credit to them, they came out. We knew they would. But credit my players even more, really, because they've stuck to the plan. They've killed the spaces. We didn't give them anything in behind tonight. That was one thing we were disappointed with, giving them a couple of moments the other night in behind. We killed that. So, yeah, it's a good day.
Couple of yellow cards, not just yours. Denise and Emily will both miss the next game, and they've been so important for you.
Yeah, big loss. Both of them been outstanding. But look, we've got good squad here, and we've got players that will come in, and it's a good opportunity for them. But naturally, of course, they're going to be missed. They've been really important players, but look, they'll be back for France and the ultimate end to the campaign.
Have you seen the Aoife Mannion incident? There was a penalty claim. I mean, if that had been a VAR, I mean, the referee I think it was her first international, but might have got away with one there.
Do you think it was a penalty? I don't know. I haven't seen it back. Do you think it was?
Some referees might have given it.
Maybe. I asked my analyst. I said, "Got away with one, did we?" And she was like, "No, it was a good tackle." So I don't know. I need to watch it back, and then I'll give you an answer. But listen, maybe we need a little bit of luck. Against France in the first game at Tallaght, their winning goal is 2 handballs in the build-up. The winning goal against the Netherlands is a handball. So maybe we needed that little bit of luck.
Well, Emily's missing, Denise is missing, but other players have stepped up in the past anyway. And you missed Denise for the Netherlands game as it was. But what are the targets now? You've got 2 big games against 2 top opponents left to come.
Yeah, look, the target is to keep improving. That's what we want to do. We want to continue to, like I keep talking about, laying up our processes, building what we do. Everything we do at the moment is, incomparable to world-class teams. So we look at the top 10 and what they can do, and we have to try and hit those numbers, and this is what we're trying to achieve. And we've been building, over this past sort of 15 months. And we have to continue to build because you know what? When we make the World Cup, we want to compete, and we want to make sure that we can play anyone and play with a belief and an energy that, will put us in a good position. So, we have to keep building, Tony, and we will do.
Congratulations, well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, Carla Ward certainly has a huge amount of belief and confidence in her team staff. She's doing a really good job, isn't she?
You know what, I like what she just said there, because I think from the previous World Cup campaign we would have been talking about going to the last World Cup and how we were playing, can we continue playing that way? And I think not being able to go and play against top teams and maybe play our own style of football probably hurt us at the last World Cup, although it was great to get there. I think we have to have that next step, and I think the fact that she said that at the end gives me kind of confidence that if she said when we get there, we will go and compete and be able to play. And I think it's good to hear her saying that, I have to say.
Is that the evolution, Karen, that we've been looking for, that we have an Ireland team now that have a style of football that's not maybe the traditional style, that has maybe evolved a little bit?
Yeah, and any top team is able to do that. They're able to adapt. She said that we went to a 5-4-1 there. I actually think without Denise and without Murphy in the next game, I do think that would be a good option for us to try and shut up shop and compete first of all before going to try and play more. Like, you have to be able to adapt to the opposition in front of you, and we're getting lots of opportunity, good mix of games throughout this campaign that should set us up nicely for the qualifier.
And Steph, one thing that has shone through in these last few performances, and I know it's something that's always been with this Ireland team, but there's a huge amount of physicality in everything that they do as well.
Yeah, and we've said that before. We always want to be a team that are difficult to beat, but also now being able to play ourselves and get ourselves up the pitch. We've touched on the likes of Sheva and Denise O'Sullivan and the energy that they bring. I think having their energy, and Carusa and Murphy up front, as Karen said, aren't afraid to get back in and do that bit of defensive work as well. So it's been a big kind of plus to have that as well.
And it's a style of play that anyone should be able to fit into. Like, it is direct, it's about support, it's about running until you can't run anymore. It's basic football, but it's really, really effective. It's playing to the strengths of the panel, and we need to see more of that now. Obviously, we're going to have to rely on the bench. It wasn't used heavily in this campaign, and probably a reason for that. So it's something we have to be aware of, and it'll be interesting to see who steps up and how they fit in the next game.
Well, Tony asked Carla Ward about that potential penalty. Stephanie's getting rained on here. You're the only one, Steph. I'm not sure why.
Coming down there.
You are at the moment anyway. I'm sure it'll fall on us as well. But Steph, she hasn't seen it. We've seen it. Do you think they got away with one?
100%. And I think even Aoife Mannion herself said it, didn't she? a risky challenge. Obviously a tricky midfielder or a winger came on there, and as it comes into the box you're thinking stay on your feet, don't dive in, and I just think it's a little bit of a kick out, and I think if there was VAR there I think it would be a different story. You can see as it comes back in, she gets down the outside of her, and as she goes to go around her she just sticks her leg out, and I think maybe the referee sees the player going down really easily, but she does catch her. You'll see it from this angle a little bit better. She kicks out and she catches her. I think in most games that's given, so it's a bit of luck that we got there.
Yeah, I actually don't understand how the referee didn't give it. I think she was in a decent position, but look, like you said, we need the luck, we need everything, we need the rub of the green. We certainly got it with 2 penalty decisions in the last 2 games, so long may it last.
The ref was in a good position as well, Karen, so is it just luck?
It's a poor decision. It's a poor refereeing decision, and we don't like to say that, I suppose, but when it's on our side,
I think it's the way that the forward goes down as well. Sometimes that can help you, and maybe it is the angle of it, but I think her going down as quick as she did, maybe she got a kick, in fairness. She's probably had forced to go down, but it's definitely one that we've got away with there.
Yeah, I think Carla Ward and the Ireland team will take that. We're going to take a very quick break, but stay with us though. We'll be hearing from Marissa Sheva and Anna Patten next. It's really not long now. In less than 8 weeks, the 2026 FIFA World Cup gets underway, and you can watch all 104 matches on RTE. We cannot wait. The Men's Champions League is also at semi-final stage, and it also features Arsenal. They're in Madrid to take on Atletico on Wednesday, April 29 at 7:30 on RTE2 and the RTE player. Lots of GA Championship action this weekend. You can catch up with the day's football and hurling action on the Saturday game on RTE2 and the RTE player tonight at 9:30. We've got a Munster Hurling Championship doubleheader on Sunday as Clare take on Waterford and Tip come up against Cork. Coverage begins at 1:30 on RTE2 and the RTE player. And the nighttime show is on at its usual spot of 9:30. And the Punchestown Festival is just around the corner. The best of the best gather to pull down the curtain on another memorable national hunt season. And we're live with all 5 days on RTE. Coverage begins on Tuesday, April 28 at 3:30. Now we're going to get some more reaction to this evening's results. Let's join Anna Patten. She's with Tony.
Anna, congratulations. What an important win that was, and hard fought as well.
Yeah, it was massive. I think it probably wasn't as, I don't want to say easy, but as smooth sailing as the first game away at Poland. We had to fight in that second half. It got a bit more scruffy, but we live for games like that, and we proved our worth, definitely.
And I suppose in those moments towards the end, learning how to kill the game and be smart about it and make sure the 3 points were secure.
Yeah, I think it's huge. Either sitting off a bit more and protecting the goal, and the girls who were keeping it up in the corner, that's massive for us. They did a really good job at that. I think Em Murphy needs a well-earned rest because that girl just ran all of today.
Yeah, I mean, she didn't get the Player of the Match award tonight, but she got the previous 3, and she's been amazing, hasn't she?
Yeah, she's been so great for us. I think she really suits this style of play. Her and Katie have a really good relationship. I think she makes those runs incredibly well for us. She works tirelessly, so yeah. She's been amazing for us, and another big performance today.
How important is the consistency of selection? I mean, you back 3, or you want to call it a back 5. The amount of blocks that you made, Chloe Mustaki made in the first game, there seems to be a solidity there now.
Yeah, definitely. I think having the 5 and having those strong relationships, like we know Caitlin's going to be aggressive and get her head on anything. We've got to cover behind and making sure we block runs and block shots. Yeah, I think we did that really well in the first game, maybe a few less today, which was a good thing. It showed that we did the work in front of us to prevent having to block shots. But yeah, no, I think we're a really strong back 5 at the moment, and it's probably the work of everyone in front of us too. But to get a clean sheet, the first one of this campaign, is really a positive to take in the final 2 games.
And to keep Eva Payor scoreless, that doesn't happen very often. She's that good.
Yeah, she's a very talented player. I think we were better at not giving her what she wants. She wants to use her speed. She wants to get in behind us. I think we were better at stopping that. And yeah, I think we kept her pretty quiet most of the game. I think that's credit to us and the credit to the shape we had.
3rd place almost certainly secure now, which was the target, but is there more to come?
yeah, I think don't write us off. I think we were so close in the first 2 games. The 2 wins in this break has definitely given us confidence to go into the final 2 with we can beat these teams. Like, we were close, and yeah, really excited for those games now.
Well, congratulations, well done.
Thank you very much.
Now, Anna Patten's right there. They were very much in the 2 games, the Netherlands and the France game. This evening and this afternoon, we've very much focused on the positives, but there's negatives as well. There was a bit of indiscipline there now with Denise O'Sullivan and Emily Murphy both getting yellow cards, and now we're going to miss that Netherlands game, which is an important one.
Yeah, it's the one kind of black market of the campaign, we'd have to say. Look, you want everyone to be full-blooded and you want everyone going for full throttle, but yeah, when you're on the yellow card, and both scenarios kind of seemed like there wasn't a huge amount of danger, that they were a little bit unnecessary, but like that heat of the moment, you don't think like that.
I think Denise's one here is just unfortunate as well, isn't it? I think she goes over to try and get it, and little nutmeg, and she does block the run, but I think it was a little bit of a harsh yellow card. Obviously this one here, probably a little bit more of a cynical challenge. It's a silly one from Murphy, really, knowing that she's on that. If she gets the yellow card, she's going to miss the game. She doesn't need to pull her back there, but yeah, 2 players that we're going to miss big time, and as Kyra mentioned, that might be something that we might have to look at in terms of how we set up. Will it be different in terms of the players that we're going to be missing now?
Particularly for the Netherlands game, because I felt like that was the game we were really in. We really felt like we could get a point from, and we would have approached that game thinking we could get something out of it, but without those 2 girls who've been so key, it'll be a really difficult task now.
Well, Denise's midfield partner Marissa Sheva will have a lot more work to do. Let's hear from her.
Tell me about the goal.
Yeah, I just knew I had to get across my player and try to get a pinky toe out to hopefully get the ball into the back of the net. Bit of a blur, but yeah, it was good.
Good build-up from Ireland in that case.
Yeah, I think that's something in the past few camps we've just been improving on, is our confidence on the ball, and I think you'll hear a lot of us talk about just how much belief we have in ourselves on the ball now, and I think that you could see that in the past 2 games.
Well, that's it from us at the Aviva Stadium on a day when Ireland took a step closer to a coveted spot at the World Cup. And if they get there, we won't need these umbrellas. My thanks to Seth and Karen for their company. Bye for now.